Steve Cash. So the Chicago Bulls with an interesting assignment tonight. They had a Mookie attack in game one. Mookie Blaylock played very well. When you get a guy that makes that many points like Mookie did, a couple things are taken away. And Pax, one of the guys that was taken away was Christian Laettner. He just wasn't much of a factor.
Well, Tom, he was a non-factor in game one. And Christian Laettner is a guy that against the Bulls this year in the regular season averaged over 24 points a game and took 18 shots. He was very reluctant in the post, especially in the second half against Scottie Pippen. He threw the ball out of double teams, really never forced the issue. The fact that he did not get to the foul line is a sign that he was not aggressive. We'll look for him to be more aggressive tonight and get more shot opportunities. But when a guy like Laettner doesn't step up, someone generally does from the bench, and that was Alan Henderson. He had a terrific game, scoring 13 points in 18 minutes, and he really provided some energy for them off the bench. And this is a bench that was maligned coming into the series, and right now, in the first game, they played the Bulls even. The Bulls, on the other hand, are going to have to get something productive out of their bench. Look for Toni Kukoč tonight to be more aggressive. He scored 7 points, but he's going to have some matchups tonight that will be in his favor. And the other guy to look for is Steve Kerr. Only 3 shot attempts in game one. The Bulls would like to get him more attempts tonight.
You know, it's interesting when you compare the benches and take a look at who did well and who did not. But when you start the second half for the Chicago Bulls, it was Scottie Pippen and then Michael Jordan Reds that just flat took over this game.
Well, the really amazing thing is, you know, Michael's always been there for every playoff game, and he did his job with the Bulls in the last game. But what he did was he missed a big layup at the end of the game. He only had 1 point in the final quarter for his 34. Scottie Pippen took over. He was big time. 3-point field goals, 6 of 10, hit 29 points, actually made the winning basket. Now, we talked, Tommy, John, we talked about the X factor. Who would it be? Luke Longley against Mutombo. Well, if you look at the numbers from the last game, you're going to find out that the X factor, Luke Longley, really negated Dikembe Mutombo. Mutombo had 10 points, only had 7 shots, 9 rebounds. Luke Longley had 8 points. He had 3 out of 7. He had 8 rebounds, and he had a block shot. So I think that they really cancel each other out.
But we'll see how the Bulls can do as they take on the Hawks in game 2. That's coming up on Sports Channel.
Sports Channel's playoff coverage of the world champion Chicago Bulls is brought to you in part by your local Chevrolet and Geo dealers, people you can trust when you're looking for a good car value. Discover Car, proud partner of the Smithsonian's 150th anniversary. United Airlines is proud to be a participating sponsor of tonight's program. Come fly Chicago's hometown airline. Come fly our friendly skies. Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. Experience cars and trucks built with a passion for the road. Mazda. Payne Weber. When you invest with Payne Weber, you invest with more intelligence. W1 by Raymond Weil. The cutting edge in time. Ameritech, your link to better communication. And by Montgomery Ward, your headquarters for the official Chicago Bulls team shop.
10 years in the league. These legs have more miles on them than most minivans. That's why I never play a game without my Ginsana. Ginsana's got G115 ginseng, the real stuff.
The lasting energy of G115 is real. It's what makes Ginsana different from everything else on the shelf.
You can feel your age, or you can feel your Ginsana.
Feel your Ginsana.
Coming up after the game, go live in the locker room for Bulls post-game comments and complete analysis. Plus, the White Sox host Oakland and get in the loop with Oprah's main squeeze, Stedman Graham, tonight.
Remember how special Mom always made you feel on Mother's Day? With a little help from Montgomery Ward, you can do the same for her. You can't go wrong with diamonds. And well, the more the better. Come on, she's your mom. Go ahead, spoil her a little. Or a little bit more. Wrap her up with love from top to bottom. It's never been so easy. Everything you need to make your mom feel special is at Montgomery Ward. Coming from you makes it all the better.
Tonight it's game 2 of round 2 as the Chicago Bulls meet the Atlanta Hawks. Coming up, the opening lineups and the opening tip, and we'll continue with Chicago Bulls playoff basketball on Sports Channel right after these messages.
They said imports taste better. They lied.
And how does that make you feel?
Used, manipulated, betrayed.
And how does that make you feel?
Used, manipulated, betrayed.
So now what?
I'll only drink fresh beer. Bud Budweiser.
You have made a real breakthrough. You did it on your own.
Born on dating from Budweiser. What fresh beer tastes like.
You're on the road to freshness. Hold all my calls.
The 97 Mazda 626 LX Special Edition. Lease for $229. Add rich leather and the lease goes to. Add air and a silky automatic and the lease cruises to. Add power everything and the lease rolls to. Add the best basic warranty in its class and you get the idea. Lease or buy for $18,345.
Keeping your business running like clockwork. We understand how important that is. That's why Chicago's hometown airline, United, gives you over 1,000 flights in and out of O'Hare, with more service to more cities than any other airline. How is it we understand business so well? Because our over 50,000 employees are business owners themselves, the employee owners of United. Come fly our friendly skies.
People will do just about anything for Bulls tickets.
And now we have Dr. Doc.
For Bulls tickets, I will perform my gravity-defying, ain't no denying, stupefying slam dunk. Yeah!
Whoa.
It'll help.
What a nut.
Now there's an easier way to get Bulls tickets. Sign up for Ameritech Cellular paging service and be automatically registered to win Bulls playoff tickets. No purchase necessary. Ameritech, your link to better communication.
And now, the starting lineup for your world champion Chicago Bulls. And forward, from Central Arkansas, 6'7", Scottie Pippen.
Goes through his last minute diagrams. Let's take a look at our starting lineups. Brought to you by your official Bulls team shop, Montgomery Ward. Mookie Blaylock and Steve Smith are at the guards. Ty Corbin and Christian Laettner the forward, and Dikembe Mutombo will start at center for the Hawks. For Phil Jackson's Bulls, it's Harper and Jordan, Pippen, Rodman, and Luke Longley in the middle. And on the baseline for Sports Channel is my man Lou Canellis. What's up, Louie?
Very much, Tom. Let's talk about what Phil Jackson yesterday said. He said Dennis Rodman needs to be aware of the refs who are working the game. Maybe we should scout the refs. Well, we did just that. 3 referees for tonight's game. First of all, Nolan Fine and Eddie F. Rush. 2 young guys, passive on the court. Those aren't the 2 guys we need to worry about tonight. The guy we need to worry about, Steve Javie. This guy has a short temper, a lot like Joey Crawford, the guy that rung up with Dennis with a technical back in Game 1 of this series. And if anyone knows about ringing up technicals and getting thrown out of games, it's Dennis Rodman, and it is with this guy, Steve Javie. Javie is the guy that tossed Rodman, guys, out of Game 1 against the Bullets.
Well, we'll keep some of that, I think.
Oh, yes.
Here's the officials, as he said, Steve Javie, Eddie Rush, and Nolan Fine. Play ball. Game 2 gets rolling here at the United Center. And, Pax, it's going to be interesting to see the start the Bulls get. They have not done very well at the start of the playoff game so far.
Well, especially the last game where the refs really showed they only made one of their first 8 shots. And their offense just didn't seem to flow real smoothly early in the game. So that's something to look for. From what was talked about, they had a very offensive-minded practice yesterday, probably trying to get a little more rhythm to what they're trying to do. We'll look for that early in this game.
26-19 was in fact the score at the end of the first quarter. Bulls then really struggled in the second quarter. Have won second game of the series 4 of the 5 times when they win the first game. And immediately Atlanta goes down low and gets it back out to Steve Smith. Goes right back to Mutombo. Longley tries to keep him from going to the middle. Mutombo with a tough jump hook, and Dennis Rodman right there. And the Bulls push it up the floor. I've been thought about that for a second. Good decision to go away by Dennis. Scottie with Corbin on him, too strong, and Dennis must have got hit. Yeah, because he might have had that rebound and a foul on Scottie. Dennis was in perfect position, but obviously got hit in the mouth somehow. Let's see if we can see it on the replay, guys.
Yeah, he just flat out quit on the rebound as it came over by him. Let's see when he comes on through here. Mutombo grabbed him to deter him from getting on through there.
Michael again starts on Mookie Blaylock. Steve Smith packs as you predict, and Smith comes out and takes a quick shot right away.
Right, they just put him on the baseline, ran some screens for him. He came out, the Bulls had switched, and Scottie was trailing the play. Dennis, they will look to get him shots.
2 guys in the hole right now, watch out.
And that was spacing was a problem in game 1, I thought, too.
Right. And that was just a double team from Laettner from the top of the circle. And Michael just tried a little cute pass that time, and it was stolen.
Second foul, or second foul of the game. This one's on Rodman. Steve Smith, knowing that he could take him off the dribble, went down the baseline.
And that happened several times in game 1 where the Bulls went back defensively, didn't match up with their man, and there was a mismatch, and they were beaten to the basket.
And guys, as we've talked a lot, the first rule in playing defense on the baseline is take that baseline away, right?
That is, but it's more important in this type of game to get back in transition defense and match up where you have a guy that you're responsible for.
Scottie with the rebound gets it out to Hart. MJ's the trailer. Dennis from the top of the circle, back of the rim, and Mookie Blaylock with the rebound. He goes right in and missed it. Luke up high for the rebound. We're almost 2 minutes in, gentlemen, and we have a no-hitter going for both sides. Luke tries to set the screen. Scottie trying to pick up where he left off, and does with a 3. That's another $73 that goes to charitables from Carex Muffler and Brake. Bulls draw first blood just about 2 minutes into the first period. Dennis helps, gets back, and good help by Luke. Out of bounds. It'll belong to Atlanta. Sports Channel like to welcome our affiliate Jones Space Link and the viewers in Wheaton, Glen Ellen, and West Chicago.
Good move here on a slide, a pick and roll, and Laettner comes on in, but Luke Longley, the cop on the beat, says, get out of here.
Laettner fakes. Luke blocked it again, but that time picked up the foul.
Already Laettner in this game trying to establish some type of offensive game. And in the open, we talked about how he did not even get to the foul line in game 1. Here he is early in the game getting to the foul line. And he's a terrific foul shooter. In that Detroit series he was 21 of 22. So he likes to get there, and when he does get there, he usually makes you pay.
Scottie looks like got hit in the eye. He's working on his left eye, and trainer Chip Schaefer is trying to get something out of his bag, and just has got something. You see Laettner first round and what he did Tuesday against the Bulls.
Here's the Hawks applying some pressure. It's just man-to-man pressure, but it's enough to force the Bulls to set their offense up a little bit higher. It was very effective in game 1.
MJ goes out to set the screen, and a pushing foul on Tyrone Corbin.
That's the foul that they were looking for on Michael the other day.
Almost the same spot, yeah.
Right here. But you saw that arm in the chest.
And Michael and Luke both trying, it seems like, to play that center position. MJ trying to post up, and Luke go in the middle. MJ, good move, split him. Luke for the offensive rebound.
Now, Mutombo was a factor there because Michael generally takes that to the basket, and Mutombo showed himself big, forced Michael to take a fadeaway jump shot.
Bulls lead at 3-2 as Laettner brings it across. Steve Smith trying to post up. Ron Harper doing a nice job trying to deny. He needs some help, and Luke comes over and provides it.
2 blocks for Luke now.
Scottie comes right down, picks up his dribble. Harper in the lane, puts it up and in. Ron Harper with the basket.
Well, that's a tough shot. You're going as fast as you can. You pull up and you got a short shot, but Laettner comes right back.
He just outran everybody down the floor, and that's another thing. You know, even after scores, you have to be aware of getting back and matching, and the Hawks will take advantage of opportunities to run, and they've done that on that possession.
Dennis with the fade away from 15, couldn't get it. Laettner with a rebound. Do you think he forces Mutombo Pax to pay a little bit more attention to him taking those shots?
Yeah, absolutely, and we talked about it in game one. He has to be a threat offensively. In fact, I thought the very first possession he had a shot he should have taken on the break.
Mookie Blaylock behind the line hits a three. Luke goes down low.
See, Mutombo's not even playing Dennis in the corner. That's something the Bulls should be able to point out.
Yeah. MJ on top. Comes around underneath. Missed it. Corbin with the rebound. Ron Harper tried to get it. Couldn't. Mookie Blaylock blocked. The goaltending is gone.
Michael gets into the heart of the lane and takes a shot, and they just release. They get the rebound, and now you have numbers. Blaylock down the floor and goes up. Harper looked like a good block. Looked like he got it cleanly.
Fans, I would say, in the United Center probably agreed with him.
Well, let's see what happens here. You're right. Mutombo just went right back.
Scottie, long range deuce, back of the rim. MJ right there for the follow, couldn't put it in. Hawks lead at 9-5. Smith goes to the basket, and a foul called as he goes to the bucket. Dennis Rodman will pick up the foul.
Now you see Atlanta attacking the basket early in the game, trying to create something for themselves, trying to get some easy baskets, and also trying to get to the foul line, which is what they're doing right now.
That play there, though, it looked like the Bulls could have slid out and taken the offensive foul. I mean, he went down that lane, just put it down twice, and you'd think that they would step out and get in his way.
At an upcoming playoff game, the first 10,000 fans in the United Center will receive a Bulls poster, compliments of the Sun-Times. Toni Kukoč up off the Bulls bench will check in.
Dennis Rodman.
Lou Canellis, what's shaking, buddy?
Yesterday at practice, Phil Jackson said that one of the things that Kukoč did when he came into the game was he didn't allow Mutombo to play that zone defense that we've seen him play against Rodman after Rodman got ejected in game one. Is that something that we might see now, John, where Kukoč will be played by Mutombo? Mutombo won't be able to roam as much?
Well, no, he'll probably go to Luke, but what it does is it forces Mutombo to play an offensive threat now. And we saw in the game when Toni was in game one, Luke scored a couple baskets because he was able to take advantage of where Mutombo was on the floor. Now they have a switch, and you got Luke with Corbin on him inside.
Double team. Looked like it was kicked.
It's not
out of bounds. That should be a kick ball, shouldn't it?
Yeah, it should be. Luke can't make passes like that out of the post. You have to extend up over the top of the defense and throw it out. He tried to throw a pass from his waist.
Bill thought the same thing. 4 on the shot clock as Toni steps out. Got to take the shot. Off the rim. MJ with the rebound. Brings it out. The Bulls with a second chance opportunity. 10-5, Hawks with the lead. Luke looks for the opening. Comes down. Lost it. Mookie right there. Well, unfortunately, guys, this game's starting a little bit like the last one.
I'm surprised Laettner didn't take that shot right away.
Trying to draw Luke out a little bit where he's got a little room. Now almost takes the same shot, but doesn't hit it. Up the floor, Scottie.
Look at this.
On Harper, good spin move, and Harper puts it in. Harper played very well, gentlemen.
And when the Bulls advance the ball quickly with passes, something good seems to happen. Even if they don't get a shot out of it, they seem to get into their offense real quickly.
Steve Smith wanted it on top and then comes back. MJ down there bumping him, and Michael will pick up the foul. We got a timeout. 6:15 left in the first. The Hawks lead the Bulls 10-7.
Coming up after the game, go live in the locker room for Bulls post-game comments and complete analysis. Plus, the White Sox host Oakland and get in the loop with Oprah's main squeeze, Stedman Graham, tonight.
There's nothing like having the right man.
He's a U.S. Ranger, highly decorated.
He's got this little girl to come home to.
In the right place.
Where are you going with my plane?
We're going to Disneyland.
At the right time.
The issue here is how the plane is brought down. I'm going to save the day.
Let's do it.
From Jerry Bruckheimer, producer of The Rock.
Where are they going to land? Viva Las Vegas.
On air, directed by Simon West.
Buckle up.
Rated R. Starts Friday, June 6th.
I whack the weeds. So you want to know what's on my Discover Card statement? I'm a camp cook and a bad one, but I've got a good stove. And he loves to chase that. The cashback bonus award.
It all folds up into a carry-on.
She loves to get flowers, and I love to give them.
How many credit cards make a statement like that?
Well, the toughest thing about buying a wetsuit is trying them on.
It pays to Discover. Use it where you see the Novus sign.
He brushes his teeth, just like you. He calls his mother every Sunday, just like you. He makes time for his kids, just like you. He drives a Chevy Blazer, just like you. He has 4 NBA championship rings, just like... He drives a Chevy Blazer, just like you. And if he bought another one right now, he'd get $1,000 cash back, just like you.
Just like in game 1, again, Dennis Rodman has left the playing area, and the report out of the Bulls locker room is that, again, like in game 1, Rodman is suffering with a bad stomach. He's inside the locker room, no word yet, and whether he'll come back and play this one. Back to you guys.
Well, he's got 5 minutes that he's played here in this first quarter. Bulls are over the limit with that foul. At 6:15 to go. They've got 5 fouls, only 1 on Atlanta, and the Bulls. Atlanta stayed in it really with their foul shooting the other day. The Bulls.
And the Bulls didn't shoot well.
Did not shoot
15 of 29. And neither team off to a good start shooting the basketball from the field. The Hawks just 3 of 10. The Bulls 3 for 12. But it's just that the fact that the Hawks are in the penalty so early is an indication that they've been attacking. They're trying to get to the basket, trying to force some things inside.
MJ with the rebound. Toni and Scottie running the other side. And Toni goes in for the slam.
And this is what Toni can do against Laettner. He can run the floor, and that's where Toni's very effective. He has the speed and the size to beat guys down the floor, and easy baskets are what you need in playoff basketball.
Laettner goes right by Toni, puts it up. Mutombo there as the ball came loose. Off the glass and good.
Yeah, with a guy like Laettner now, who's not really shooting it very well from outside, just keep him in front of you. And Toni that time allowed him to go baseline, even though he didn't score. It enabled Mutombo to pick up the offensive rebound basket.
Got to make him make a couple of those right before you come out, as MJ puts it up and got fouled.
Take a look at Toni sprinting down the floor. Michael with the tongue out, spots him, fires a bullet pass cross court. Toni just takes it on in, up over the rim, and hammers it on down with the left hand.
And if Toni continues to run hard like that, even if he doesn't score, he'll take the defense back with him, and that's where the Bulls will be able to flow quickly into their offense. And Toni also may find himself then on the post, which is a very advantageous place for him. We've talked about it before. He needs to get down there more often than he's doing right now.
So it creates spacing, and it opens things up for Toni to be in the position that he's very effective in.
Well, then you get that second guy in the trailer down that also gets involved
and
in
you
it.
take that defense right back with you, and they cannot put up the pressure up the floor that they want to.
Hawks lead it by a pair, 13-11. Steve Smith again down, posts up. Luke comes over to help. Smith underneath, off the glass, help. Mutombo brings it down and still had enough strength to put it up and in.
But here's what you sacrifice with Dennis out of the game, and you double team a guy like Smith down there, is the fact that you've given up some rebounding. And Dennis is so good at gathering rebounds. Right now you don't have him in the game.
Mutombo goes to double team. I think it was on Laettner. It was on Ty Corbin. Shoot the Ball 3-on-3 Classic returns this summer to Chicago's Grant Park. Call 312-455-4000 for more information, and check the Tuesday or Wednesday or Sunday Tribune or Sport Mart location for an entry form.
They just switched the screen and roll. You got Luke with Corbin on him now, and you got Mutombo on Scottie Pippen.
Bulls trying to take advantage. Luke in the lane with a fadeaway jumper. Good.
See, when you get switches within your offense, you can take advantage of them. That's one of the things the Bulls like to do. You don't have to isolate a guy. Then the Bulls swung at that time, allowed their offense to work, and they still found Luke wide open in the middle of the lane.
And they had Toni in the post. Toni a good passer and a threat, so he really keeps your attention. Blaylock, a tough three, man.
No, tough three. He let him right to sleep. Michael had his hands down to his side, quick shot him right over the top of his right.
Ron Harper thought about answering, down low, MJ. Backs his way in, spins baseline, and hits.
They elect not to double team Michael that time. He's able to to see what's going on, get his rhythm, and turn to that baseline jump shot.
First basket for Michael. He's got 4 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, though. Laettner backs in against Toni. Comes into the lane.
That's just too deep.
Michael comes in and rebounds again. He realizes without Toni, he's got to step that up. Scottie. Oh, great play by Pip.
Beautifully done, finding Harp after looking Toni off. They both trail by 1.
And something's wrong with Scottie as he came up there. As he made that pass, he's holding on to something. We got a timeout called by Atlanta. Scottie is in a little pain. 3:41 left in the first. Hawks lead it by 1.
Cozy, huh? What? Whoa. Bedroom? No way. Security? How's the transportation? Classic fixtures. Ooh, what do we have here? Bud Light. Go ahead. It's got your name on it. I'll get my own. Nice. Huh?
I'll take it. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
That was close. I was down on my last one.
And now, Scottie Pippen.
Winning is great, but it's what's behind the win that counts. Strategy, perseverance, and most of all, teamwork. What's true on the court is true on the streets. Chicago neighborhoods are safer because of a new team at work, the CAPS team. Residents, police, and the city teaming up to prevent crime. When you join the CAPS team, everybody wins. Safe neighborhoods are everybody's business. Call 744-CAPS and get with the beat.
X marks the spot for Howard Orloff Jaguar. From the bloodlines of the XKE comes the all-new Jaguar XK8. Plus, see the cat that has everybody's tongue. The sleeker, longer 1997 XJ6 with all-new Jaguar incentive pricing that makes this year's new 1997 more affordable than a 96. Visit Howard Orloff Jaguar. X marks the spot. Armitage and the Kennedy.
Hawks with a lead, 18-17 here at the United Center. 3:41 left in the first, and let's see how Scottie hurt that elbow.
Did he come down on Mutombo a little bit? Or?
Looked like it, yeah. So you wonder if Mutombo's got a little headache. Ouch. First 4-10, 2 for 11. Last 3 minutes, 5 for 5 for the Bulls.
So Laettner got Toni backed in very deep. He missed the point-blank shot, but Michael, as we saw in game 1, when Dennis went out of the game, he went to the boards, had double-figure rebounding game, and then the push. Scottie Pippen getting it in the middle, and just a terrific fake and find to Ron Harper, who ran hard, filled the lane, and got rewarded.
Normally, you would think Atlanta, the team that likes to up-tempo a little bit, but the Bulls having a lot of success when they push it up the floor.
You got to remember, too, that this is Atlanta team plays their starters a lot of minutes. They're coming off of that 5-game series, playing a lot of games in just a few days, so you may want to run them when you get the opportunity.
Toni goes down to post up, turn around off the glass, and good.
He just looked so active early on. Just good cut into the heart of the lane. The Bulls found him.
Hawks again with a 1-point lead. Scottie wanted that pass to Laettner. He's right there defensively on him. Mookie with the fake comes in, running one-hander off, and Ron Harper right there.
When you have a chance to run.
Toni again fills the
Nice! Oh, Michael pushing that ball up, Pax, makes it.
Yeah, and what you see is, we saw this against Washington, a guard like Blaylock, like Strickland was, who oftentimes finds himself in the paint, throwing up tough shots. You can release and run, and that's another opportunity for the Bulls. Michael pushing it up hard and Toni finishing.
Where Phil Jackson says, stay up, MJ.
Offensive foul on Laettner, his first. Laettner's taken 6 shots. He's only making 1. What was he, 3 out of 7?
He's 3 for 7 the other night.
The opening game.
But the thing that Toni did there that he didn't do that one time that Laettner got to the basket was hold his ground. You have to throw your chest in there and absorb the blow. He did that time and gets the offensive foul on Laettner.
You got to bounce a little bit with the guy. You got to make the contact and drift back.
post up, Smith on him. Bulls players switch on the other side. Michael triple team into the corner. Scottie Pippen, 4-3.
Pitt 2-3. This sequence, the last few minutes, is the best the Bulls offense has looked in the entire playoffs. And they've got a real nice rhythm, and it's no coincidence with another score in the game like Toni that has happened.
And Toni doing and being where he needs to be and doing what he needs to do.
Well, you're right. They score in the half-court offense. They score on a fast break.
Smith inside, blocked away by Ron Harper. Here comes Scottie. Right side MJ, stops, 4-3, nope, Scottie right there.
Oh, yes, sir, Pip right there, and now you see Lenny looking down his bench.
Alan Henderson will check in. By the way, that 3 a second ago. Another $73 goes to charitables from CarX. Smith comes inside, runs into Luke, and Longley will pick up the foul.
When Toni just got out of the way that time.
Tomorrow night, expect some offensive fireworks when the Sox welcome the Oakland Athletics to town. First pitch tomorrow night at 7 on Sports Channel. We know the Sox inside now.
Down low, Steve Smith tries to come inside, and Harper's got the good block on him. But Smith back to the line here now. Michael with the long three misses, but Pip is right there to pick it off the board and throw it back in.
Phil giving Michael a rest here to end the first quarter, and he brings Randy Brown in, and Randy has an opportunity now to redeem himself a little bit defensively against Blaylock, to get up on him, try to keep the ball out of his hands, because if you think about it, if you can keep it out of his hands, then someone else is going to have to initiate the offense. There's a
good pass to Scottie for the jam.
Up down that baseline, that's open a lot. Pip with 10 points.
Well, the Bulls are recognizing Atlanta's defense early tonight, where they didn't do it as well in game one. That time Luke realized the pressure was up in midcourt and flashed to the high post.
Henderson almost lost it, finds Laettner and count the basket and the foul. Brian Williams, who was questionable for the ball game, comes in. A hip flexor problem. Luke Longley will check out.
Well, this is where the defense is out. You see them up on Ron Harper up high, and Luke just comes to receive the ball, and Scottie Pippen with an overplay on the wing has an opportunity then to go backdoor. Here it is. You see the pressure and a good cut by Pip, and Luke being able to throw the pass over the smaller Christian Laettner.
The key is you may not be open right away on a cut to the basket, but you never know when your defensive player doesn't turn his head, doesn't see the ball, whatever, and you can just drop that little pass right over his head.
That's right, and that's something that this team practices. They understand when there's pressure at half court, what is available to them. They did not recognize it well in game one. They've recognized it very well early in this game.
Bulls lead it by 3.
There it is again.
Toni on the baseline. Williams there to set the screen. Bulls with the reverse.
A good step in by Pip.
Brian Williams in the lane, put it up, and a foul call. A very late whistle by Eddie Rush, and a foul on Christian Laettner.
That's first in the last 2 minutes, so the Bulls will get it out on the side.
Oh, you said it's after
they
the shot.
ran into each other on that play. Brian Williams had a nice little turnaround for the layup.
Bulls wanted to reverse, and Harp saw Scottie Pippen take a couple steps.
And what they're doing is they're trying to take away that pass to reverse the basketball to Randy Brown in that instance. And Scottie Pippen was stepping to receive the ball, but he thought he had an angle to go back door. Just a little miscommunication.
That's what's left in the first quarter. Shot clock is off. Toni takes a couple steps to be right next to the lane. Steve Smith puts his head down and puts it in. 2.6 left. Scottie right back to Toni. He's made some of these. Oh, just short. We played one period here at the United Center, and the Bulls lead the Atlanta Hawks 28-27.
Lease for $229. Add rich leather and the lease goes to. Add air and a silky automatic and the lease cruises to. Add power everything and the lease rolls to. Add the best basic warranty in its class and you get the idea. Lease or buy for $18,345.
I asked if we were there yet, and Dad said almost. Mom said it was nice not to hurry, but when we got there, To the place where Lincoln grew up, they had people dressed up like in the old days. And there were horses and everything. Lincoln looked funny without a beard. Everybody knows Lincolns have beards. Anyway, when we got to the Capitol, it was cool. Everything echoes there. 87 years. The score is 20 years. Did you know that? I knew what he looked like, but when I saw him, he was a lot bigger than I thought.
Live in the past this weekend, in New Salem where he was young, and Springfield, where he was magnificent.
He was really big.
Call 1-800-2CONNECT for a free travel guide to take you 1,000,000 miles from Monday in Illinois.
World Champion Chicago Bulls basketball is brought to you in part by Genuine Chevrolet, the car more Americans trust, and by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, who reminds you, fresh beer tastes better.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at first quarter stats. Hawks 9 of 21. Bulls came back 12 of 24 and 10 Bulls assists to 1 for Atlanta.
And isn't that a great sign for this Bulls team when they're moving the basketball? And what also is a good stat is that they had 10 fast break points. It shows that they're clearing the boards, pushing it up, and guys are running hard. Toni Kukoč had a terrific first quarter. In 7 minutes, scored 6 points on 3 of 5 shooting. And the other guy who really played well in that quarter was Ron Harper, who had 6 points as well. Scottie had 10, and Michael only had 4. So, you know, and he shot just 1 of 5. So the Bulls are in real good shape right now.
Well, Michael plays a small forward now with Kerr and Randy Brown in the backcourt.
You almost call this the Phoenix offense, guys? The little offense they play.
Small ball is what they were calling it out there.
Tony, double team, goes right back to Randy. Missed the layup.
The back of the rim, wow, wide open.
Mookie, Steve Kerr, this time at least, draws the assignment of Mookie Blaylock.
Well, you know, Phil can go with this matchup a little bit because Darren Hancock's really not a perimeter player. So they feel comfortable with either Steve Kerr or Randy Brown guarding him. That's the guy you don't want to leave.
That's right. That's Mookie's third 3 of the game. He took 15 the other in that first game.
On the regular season, he averaged 8 a game.
Steve tries to answer, back of the rim, and Mookie right there with a rebound.
Release it out.
Randy Brown knocks it. Can he save it? He tried to call a timeout. I think he did. Nope, he did not.
Well, Ed Rushy's going to try to tell him what he was doing.
Well, that's the second or third time that Atlanta, on a long jump shot by the Bulls, has released a player down the floor. And on the miss, if they get the rebound, they have the chance to throw it out.
He tried to call a timeout. 20-second timeout Bulls, and I think that's Bulls ball in.
Yeah, they had to correct Nolan Fine. He was right on the play, and Randy turned around, looked at him, and said, got the ball, and he said, I want the timeout.
Yeah, you can clearly see him say timeout. Yeah. Right there, timeout. And then he lands.
Yeah.
Hey, this weekend on Sports Channel, right after games 3 and 4, flip over, special edition of the Sports Channel Report. Go live in the locker room. That's immediately following the Bulls games this weekend on Sports Channel. Game's not over until we say it is. And an upcoming playoff game. First 10,000 fans in the United Center will receive a Bulls poster, compliments of the Sun-Times.
Get well wishes to Ben Whittle of Flossmoor. Hope you're around for the Holy Surrey.
Billy Corrigan from the Smashing Pumpkins, one of John Paxson's favorite artists. Stedman Grand's here. And how about that little beauty? Got a Bulls game as we've got a foul in the backcourt, and Randy Brown is holding his left calf.
And it's on Randy.
That just was a case of not handling the pressure very well. Steve Kerr.
Right.
Actually, you'd like to see Randy maybe a little behind Steve in a lag position where he can make that pass. And Darren Hancock's in there for defense. He's quick and he's active. We saw him in Charlotte for several years. He can get up and pressure you, so the Bulls are going to have to be aware of this pressure defense that Atlanta can throw at.
Pressure's going to be on Steve Kerr and Randy, both of them being pressured in the back.
Laettner over to set the screen, got a screen roll, and he slams it.
Yeah, that's one of their favorite plays, a little pet play that they run to get Blaylock a deep screen. They run him off a high pick to get him the ball in the corner initially, and then they run that screen roll, and it's awfully deep, and Laettner just rolled right out of it.
Randy Brown comes around the screen, backs it off, penetrates, finds Brian Williams in the lane. 32-28 Hawks with a good start here to the third. Toni Kukoč will pick up the foul, I believe.
Well, they run out and get 5 first quick points, and now they'll go back to the line as a beautiful play on the other end is the block shot. Here goes Brian Williams in, and Hancock way up for the block shot and the fast break, and he goes to the free throw line.
Well, and then the ability of Hancock with his speed to make this block and then run the floor and get down to the other end. This Atlanta team right now is quick on the floor, and now they're going to put Rakazner in for Blaylock. They really don't lose any speed with him in the game.
Lou Canello standing by. What do you got, Louis?
We've seen the Bulls do a lot of running, but Lenny Wilkins, guys, wants his team to run more whenever possible. He doesn't want his guys to fill into get into the habit of walking the ball up court. In game 1, Bulls outscored Atlanta 13-0 on fast break points, so the Hawks trying to do much better with the fast break tonight.
When was the last time you remember Michael with more rebounds than points? 6 rebounds, 4 points for MJ. He's also got 4 assists. On top, Steve Kerr. Shot clock at 3, at 2, at 1. Brian Williams on the knee, and it didn't hit the rim.
A Bulls strange team out there now. Timeout.
9:52 left first half. 32-28 Hawks with the lead.
I know you'll be watching the games this weekend on that other station, NBC. I will be too. But right after the game, I'm flipping the sports channel where you got Luke live in the locker room. We got interviews with Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, there's Phil, Ron, everybody, the whole cast and crew will be doing it right there. We're even going into the other locker room, the visitors, in the Omni. And right after the game, hey, don't forget, my keys. These are my keys. We're going to have those right here on Sports Channel, Chicago's championship headquarters.
What if you could boost the healing power of modern medicine using your mind? Sound impossible? In Health Watch, NBC5's Joan Esposito introduces us to a patient who's using her mind to help treat her ailing heart. Tonight on the NBC5 News at 10, right after ER. Tonight on the NBC5 News at 10.
His controversial commentary sparked arguments and debate across Chicago. Now Jerry Springer has quit. The complete story.
Tonight on the NBC5 News at 10. Committed to Chicago.
Just a reminder, next time you need a little help getting airborne, the 50,000 employee owners of United Airlines would be more than happy to help. Come fly our friendly skies.
Welcome back to the United Center. Lou Canellis, John Paxson, Johnny Kerr. I'm Tom Dorr. James Angio, Doug Stanton in the truck. As the Bulls take on the Atlanta Hawks, Dennis Rodman back on the floor. Pax, I thought I saw you.
That was my Halloween costume last year.
So Dennis is back. There's Lenny.
And a couple substitutions by Phil Jackson that timeout. He brings Jason Caffey in also for the first time in the game.
Oh, he's experimenting pretty good with his lineup.
Rakazner goes on top. Henderson finds Steve Smith. Smith off a good screen. Fakes in the lane. He kind of looked away and then looked up.
Looked like he wanted to make the pass, and
Fernando Valenzuela
just able to turn the corner on that screen. The Bulls not able to stop getting into the lane, and that's really what you want to do on screen rolls. If you're going to step up, you want to keep them out of the paint.
7-0 run here, and remember they missed a couple free throws, right?
MJ with the jumper puts it in.
And it is 16.
He's also got 7 rebounds and 4 assists.
There's that quick screen roll out of transition. Got Steve Kerr hung up.
Dennis with the rebound. Scottie a good first half as well. 10 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Caffey with the left hand couldn't finish. Tried for the rebound. Hancock, as MJ was right there waiting for him to go back to the left hand. Across the floor, Steve Smith with
That's a good closeout by Scottie Pippen on a perimeter player.
And Smith must have gotten hit in the eye. Shot clock at 7, at 6. Laettner for 3. And Michael right there again. 8 rebounds for MJ in the first half. Finds Scottie with a left hand and a foul call.
Laettner picks that his third foul. Going to the hoop. Michael with a great pass. They want to get out and run. Comes over to Pip. Pip's going to go up with the left hand on Laettner, but Laettner commits the foul, and Mutombo comes back in for Christian Laettner.
Well, Michael's really been the catalyst in this fast break effort that the Bulls have had. We've seen him in the open floor and guys running hard, and it's amazing what a little thing like just running the floor hard will get you. Good things generally happen.
And it's amazing the different things that he can do. He can rebound, and he's showing now. Let's see him get Steve Smith in the ooh.
Ouch. Michael seemed and always has seemed to have the presence of knowing what's needed out on the floor. If you need the rebounds, if you need someone to play make, or as we've seen him so many times, because so used to his ability to put up the big numbers scoring, but he can do so many other things, and it's the sense of when to do them that is really impressive.
Hand check called against Jason Caffey as the Bulls put a little pressure on.
I know this matchup with Mutombo back in the game puts Dennis on Mutombo, which really isn't bad. This is a lineup where Dennis can play the post. He just has to keep Mutombo out of the lane if they go inside to him.
Yeah, but you can't afford a foul like that, Pax. That's your third foul of this quarter. This team has got to the line. The Bulls have only been there twice.
Yeah, that always, those little fouls in the backcourt always hurt you.
Henderson very short. Dennis tipped it. Michael comes away with it. Finds Steve Kerr on the wing. Steve Kerr for 3.
Another transition basket, and that's where you generally get 3-pointers in the playoffs, is on runs like this. And Michael having the good vision to find Steve Kerr, and Blaylock really not closing out very well with the hand up on the shooter.
Another $73 to charitables from Carex Muffler, and the Bulls take the lead back by 1. Mutombo through the lane, kicks it out. Mookie Blaylock wide open for 3.
Bulls elect to double team Mutombo that time. He's coming in really not on balance very well, but he's able to pick the ball up and make the pass to the open man.
Michael gives it right back to Steve inside. Pip. MJ 4-3 back of the rim. Dennis tapped it, and Mookie Blaylock is right there. He just seems to be there every time there's a loose ball. Another open straight up. Mookie just nails it again.
Well, what he did real well that time was just use the traffic. He had Mutombo running, and Steve Kerr kind of got hung up. He was trying to get out to him, but just used the traffic very well, and he's done this through the first 2 games. He's picked his spots, and he's read all the situations that have presented themselves to him. He's read them very well.
MJ penetrates, finds Scottie on the right side, down low, Jason Caffey. Right back, Scottie with a good fake, a good stop inside, comes up short, Jason Caffey, Bush puts it up, loose ball on the rebound, pulled down by Blaylock. Coming up on 6.5 left in the first half as Mookie steps behind the line again. Missed that one. Scottie with a rebound. Got Steve Kerr on the right side. Finds Steve. Open 3. Steve Kerr just off. 3-point shooting. Unbelievable for Glenn. 5 and 7. Bulls 3 and 9.
All 5 of those are by Mookie.
That's good defense by Dennis. We saw Luke do that in the first game, where you got to keep him out of the paint and make him take that tough shot, but then you got to go get the rebound.
6:02 left first half, and the Hawks lead the Bulls by 5.
W1 by Raymond Weil. The cutting edge in time. Time for the next generation. W1 by Raymond Weil.
He brushes his teeth, just like you. He calls his mother every Sunday, just like you. He makes time for his kids, just like you. He drives a Chevy Blazer, just like you. He has 4 NBA championship rings, just like... He drives a Chevy Blazer, just like you. And if he bought another one right now, he'd get $1,000 cash back, just like you.
Okay, class. A woman has 6 minutes to get to the bank 4 miles away. How fast does she have to drive?
62 miles an hour.
No, Tommy. You.
She doesn't have to drive. She could phone her banking in.
You're very funny, young man. She can't do that.
Well, with First Chicago's 24-hour banking by phone, she can pay bills, transfer funds, check on balances, anywhere, anytime.
She can do that?
Yes, Miss Downs. First Chicago, we can do that.
He's awfully big. You must have been held back.
Bulls coach is still discussing exactly what they'd like to do. Now Phil Jackson brings everybody in. And Pax, you like this defense, don't you?
Well, one of the things that Atlanta's going to try to do with Dennis guarding Mutombo is get him the ball. But Dennis does a nice job of just keeping him outside the painted area. And Mutombo likes to run into the lane and get that sweeping hook going. But Dennis kept him out, forced that tough jump hook. And then you have guys on the boards. You don't have to sacrifice a double team.
Michael, Jordan, Steve Kerr, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Toni Kukoč on the floor for the Bulls.
Mookie Blaylock, 5 out of 6 from three-point range.
And with their guys struggling, Steve Smith just 3 of 7, Laettner's 3 of 9. Really haven't gotten anything from anyone else. Blaylock, as he did in game 1, has really kept them in this game and given them the lead.
Ricasner, Blaylock, Mutombo,
out of a
Henderson
timeout
right there, and Corbin, and that's a good play.
Just a little back screen, and the Bulls did not communicate. They're able to throw the ball to the rim.
42-35. Hawks with the lead.
See, Michael wants the ball to the post. He's got Blaylock, and Tony had an opportunity to throw it to him. Swung the ball instead.
He'll go to line for a pair. Atlanta got a good start in the first part of the first quarter, and in the first half of here, the second quarter. Guys, the Bulls came back at the end of the first quarter. How do they get that going again now?
Well, they got it through rebounding and running. But what you have to do is you have to keep the ball out of the basket. From an Atlanta perspective, it's hard to run when you're constantly taking the ball out of the basket. You know, some teams can do it, but you've got to get stops and then run. Here's out of the timeout, just a back screen. Michael and Tony involved in it, and Henderson just runs right to the rim. That's great for a coach when you come out of a timeout, you diagram something, set it up, and it works like that.
Washington worked that a couple times. That sideline out of bounds, done the same thing.
Mookie. Steve Kerr got a piece of it with 12 on the shot clock, 5:19 left in the first half.
Hawks look quick.
Yeah, they do. And aggressive. Ricasner with the fadeaway jumper hits. Eldridge Ricasner. And Jay answers from the left side. 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and 8 points. Michael Jordan's first half line so far. Blaylock goes inside Mutombo. Tony comes right over to help out. Mutombo throws it in.
Well, one of the things that Atlanta can do with Ricasner in the game is put him on top of the floor and put Blaylock down along the baseline and run around screens. And they did that time. He made a real nice pass into Mutombo, who was able to finish.
MJ backs his way in, fades from 15 and hits again.
He saw Mutombo cheating, ready to come. But Michael's going to have his way with Blaylock. We saw in game 1 his ability to shoot over the top of him whenever he wants.
Ricasner double teamed as Tony comes over. Henderson runs over Dennis Rodman, and an offensive foul call.
Dennis Rodman very quiet, but that time he steps out to take the offensive foul. Rodman with 2 rebounds.
Taking a charge is not fun as a judge. It's great to get the call when you're standing up, but that can be painful.
Dennis has got to get the tumble out of there. Michael has got Mookie down again on the block.
This is 2 of the last 3 possessions where Michael's been calling for the ball on the post. And that time Dennis kind of overran his spacing on the floor.
Holding his right knee.
Scottie hollering to get Mutombo out of the lane. Blaylock gets it to Ricasner, who just did get across the half-court stripe. 10 in the shot clock, and it's out of bounds to the Bulls. Steve Smith comes back. Ricasner will leave. Ron Harper, Brian Williams as well will check in. Ouch. Tony pops out. turns and looks, and Toni takes and hits the three. Another $73 that goes to charitables from Carex. 46-43 now, Hawks with the lead. Henderson backs his way in. Corbin on top for Smith. In the lane, Smith had to change his shot, missed it, comes up short, and an offensive foul called on Dikembe Mutombo on the rebound.
Boy, oh boy, could have called one on anybody in that one.
Yeah, a lot of traffic in there.
Coming up at the half, Chevy and Geo Dealers halftime report. Cash and Norman Sport Mart. First half highlights. MVP, MJ, or the mailman. They'll talk about that. Now Michael with Steve Smith on him. Good fake. Kicks into the corner. Harper for three. Short.
Looks like he got a block.
Out of bounds.
Oh, no.
Looked like Henderson hit it.
Harper looked like he got the shot blocked a little bit, and then it comes off the... Well, anyway, Bulls down here by 3, and Lenny wants a timeout to talk about it.
3:02 left in the first half. The Hawks lead the Bulls 46-43.
You want to share a thought, set up an appointment, find an old friend, or learn a new fact. With Ameritech, you can do it all without a worry, because our reliable local network makes every connection work. And we do it all at the right price, with innovations like call packs. You can talk as long as you want for one low monthly price. At Ameritech, we make the local connection between people work. Stick with what works. Ameritech, your link to better communication.
It takes a little longer to pour a beer as good as Sam Adams. Sam Adams, a better glass of beer.
You want a pie? Go see Grandma. You want it stuffed? Hey, see a taxidermist. You want deep dish? Here's a shovel. But if you're looking for something different, something better, come to Bertucci's for our handcrafted brick oven pizza. You get a light, crispy crust and a sophisticated taste that could only come from a Bertucci's brick oven. Now, doesn't that sound better? Bertucci's, our brick oven makes it better.
United Center, Eastern Conference Semifinals, Game 2 here in Chicago as the Bulls take on the Atlanta Hawks. Shoot the Bull 3-on-3 Classic returns this summer to Chicago's Grand Park. Call 312-455-4000. For more information, check the Tribune on Wednesday or Sunday or visit any Chicagoland Sport Mart location for an entry form. Sponsored in part by the Tribune, Coca-Cola, Pro Player, Columbia Healthcare, and AT&T. Judd Bushler gets into the lineup for the Bulls.
Jeff, he'll use this matchup in Game 1 when Henry James came in a shooter. He put Judd on him knowing that he's going to be aware of where he is on the perimeter, because Henry James showed this year that he can really light it up when he gets an opportunity.
Smith kicks it out to Mookie. Bulls try and double team him as Corbin goes down low for Smith with Scottie on him.
Oh, travel. That's a good matchup, Scottie and Steve Smith. Scottie has the speed to chase him around screens, but he also has the size to defend him in the post.
That's where Smith is good, too, in that painted area. He shoots over the top of guys, little runners and floaters.
Brian Williams had to tie his shoe.
See, now they put Mookie on Judd Bushler, so we look for Mookie to maybe chase the ball a little bit, which is off on Scottie Pippen.
Toni, 4-3, top of the circle, way off, and Corbin with the rebound. Mookie with Judd on him now as Mutombo comes over to set the screen. Mookie for 3, right side, hits.
That's another situation where they didn't get matched in transition, and McPhill was hollering for Michael to go at him anyway, but Judd stayed with him, and he just used that screen and roll very effectively again.
Mookie's got 4 hoops in his quarter, all threes.
Brian Williams pops out from 15, too strong.
No, they haven't gotten anything out of Ty Corbin yet. He hasn't even taken a field goal attempt, and Laettner struggled. He's not even on the floor. Mookie's carrying this team right now.
And yet they lead it by 6. Mutombo with Brian Williams on him.
He's in close.
He just keeps taking those little steps in and backs in and
That's
backs
where you
in.
can't let him get to. Yeah, that's 2-3 dribbles in the lane. And if he's going to get that deep and with that many dribbles, that may be a time to come.
The Bulls come up only 3 points shy, and all of a sudden they run off a bunch more. Here goes Mutombo coming in on Williams, coming in. Now he is right point blank underneath, and that's an easy shot.
He may still be bothering him a little bit. MJ.
They ran off of Judd that time with Mookie Blaylock.
Now Judd can hit the 3.
That's a big shot because you make them pay for putting Mookie on Judd Bushler, and that's good recognition finding the open man.
Another $73 that goes to charitables from Carex, and now Mookie's got to think about that. Mutombo as Toni comes over to help out. On top, Smith into the corner. Ty Corbin with his first shot. And Toni comes up with a rebound.
Michael on your right, Toni.
MJ off the glass and good.
Good decision by Toni that trip.
51-48 now, Hawks with the lead. Bulls trying to come a little closer as we get toward halftime. Smith has the high screen roll, doesn't use it. Looks to pass it off, throws it away. Scottie tried to come up with it. It's loose, and Judd Bushler will get the foul. That's too bad.
Rummy foul.
Bulls had played very well, and they got Smith to commit in the air when he didn't know what he was going to do.
Try to make a pass to Mutombo, who's not really going to catch the ball very well on the move, but it's only the Bulls' first in the last 2 minutes, so it doesn't put them to the line. They get another possession. The Bulls, they have a chance here, Atlanta, to go 2 for 1 if they'd like.
Blaylock. James goes down low. Mutombo.
See Brian playing him low to get some leverage.
Corbin comes to the middle, runs over Toni.
And the block on Toni.
And Brian Williams goes down hard. Brian's head down on the floor.
Well, it looked like Toni slid right in there for the...
But he turns a little bit at the very end. He throws that left shoulder towards Corbin instead of just throwing his chest right in there.
Well, they don't have a 20-second timeout, so they'll have to take the full timeout as Dr. Weinberg flips out on the floor.
Well, we'll take it with them. Chip Schaefer and Doc Weinberg are out there. 20.1 seconds left. The Hawks have a 3-point lead.
Look who's trying to win Bulls tickets.
Next up is my old teammate, John Paxson. Hey, Pac. Scotty, I'm going to win those Bulls tickets by recreating my game-winning shot. Oh. Has it been that long?
Come on, Scotty. You remember Game 6, Phoenix? You were there. Hold on, one more time. Oh, that was a break.
Not going to happen.
Now there's an easier way to get Bulls tickets. Sign up for Ameritech cellular paging service and be automatically registered to win Bulls playoff tickets. No purchase necessary. Ameritech, your link to better communication.
Be active, be cool, but beware. Use an ordinary stick antiperspirant, you get flaky white stuff. Until now, Gillette introduces new Clear Stick. It's clear, so it can't leave a white residue. And it glides on smooth and dry for maximum strength stick protection. No stick protects you better against odor and wetness. So don't get the white stuff. Get the clear advantage. New Gillette Clear Stick. Or try cool, refreshing clear gel.
10 years in the league. These legs have more miles on them than most minivans. That's why I never play a game without my Ginsana. Ginsana's got G115 ginseng, the real stuff.
The lasting energy of G115 is real. It's what makes Ginsana different from everything else on the shelf.
You can feel your age, or you can feel your Ginsana.
Feel your Ginsana.
Leading first in the collision. All right. Well, you see Brian Williams being helped up here. That's one of the team doctors, Jeff Weinberg, on the right side, Ira Kornblatt, Bulls team orthopedic surgeon. They help him off the floor. Let's show you now why he had to be helped off, guys.
Corbin taking a ball straight on in. He's going to run into Toni, and Tony's going to get knocked in to Brian Williams.
His back collides with Brian Williams' right knee, and that's what they were looking at. Darren Hancock, Alan Henderson, Mookie Blaylock, Steve Smith, and Ty Corbin. For the Bulls, it's Bushler, Pippen, Kerr, Jordan, and Toni Kukoč with 20.1 seconds left in the first half. .52-48. And a 5-point lead now as the Bulls will have the last possession. Judd Bushler goes down into the corner. Steve Kerr in the other corner. 9-8-7. Here they go, and Henderson reaches out and grabs him.
Yeah, they don't have foul to give, so that puts Toni on the free throw line. That's a good matchup right there. Toni knows he can take him off the dribble. They cleared out the left side, which is his dominant hand. They allow him to go, and they put a three-point shooter in the corner that can't be helped off of in Steve Kerr.
You know, I don't think that Lenny's team thought that Toni would be the man on the point in that situation where Henderson was all alone, exposed out there, and he just reached out and fouled.
And that's just a good read by the guys on the floor who understand that. Give Toni the basketball. Now you want to get matched. Atlanta's got to feel pretty good about where they are, because right now you've had Christian Laettner out of the game. He has 3 fouls. Even though he hasn't played very well, he's still a huge guy in the rotation.
And Mutombo hadn't been a big factor either.
But he's gotten shots tonight. He's gotten 6 shot attempts, and he's made 4 of them. But Mookie's the guy who's carried him. Steve Smith still struggling a little bit with his shot. And off the bench, they haven't got what they got the other night, at least in the first half anyway. Alan Henderson has the basket, as does Rick Hasner. So they're sitting here thinking with just under 7 seconds to go that we're in pretty good position here. If we can take this ball down, get a shot and get a score, we could go in halftime up by 5 or 6.
But they better remember what number Mookie Blaylock is with this 6.8 to go. They better try to get the ball out of his hands as quick as they can.
Yeah, you'd expect the Bulls to put some pressure up the court, try to make it difficult for them to advance the basketball, keep it in the backcourt as long as they possibly can. You know, Toni went to the foul line the other night 6 times. He was only 2 of 6 and didn't look real sturdy at the foul line. He was falling off when he was shooting, just didn't seem solid up there. Toni's got to get himself up there, go through his little routine, and really think he's going to knock these in. He knocks in the first one, has a chance to get this down to 3 points right now.
A chance to get a dozen, too, in the first half or 2.
He's really played aggressively and very well.
Oh, stay in there.
He kills you in so many ways, doesn't he?
James, off balance 3. No good. We've played 1 half of basketball here at the United Center, and the Atlanta Hawks lead the Chicago Bulls 53-51. Now let's go back to our guys at Sport Mart. Steve Cash will take it away, partner.
All right, thanks a lot, Tom Dorr. Coming up here in our Chevy GL halftime report, Norman Van Leer will join me to analyze the first half. We're also going to take a look at the race for the NBA's most valuable player. But first, it's the Ameritech call of the half.
Against Toni, comes into the lane. Michael comes in and rebounds again. He realizes without Toni, he's got to step that up. Scottie. Great play by Jeff.
Beautifully done, finding Harper after looking Toni off.
World Champion Chicago Bulls basketball is brought to you in part by your local Chevrolet and Geo dealers. People you can trust when you're looking for a good car value. The owners, managers, and crew who proudly call the McDonald's in your neighborhood My McDonald's. NBC5 committed to Chicago. Gillette Sensor XL and the Gillette Series Gillette, the best a man can get. Get away from the ordinary and discover the extraordinary. Las Vegas, call your travel agent today. And by Ginsana, the original all-natural energizer.
For years, the 16-inch clincher softball has been a familiar sight on diamonds from Niles to Naperville. The same can be said about the 97 Chevy S10 pickup. Both provide rugged play and long drives at an affordable price. While the ball is the center of activity on the field, the S10 is the focus after the game. With an optional third door providing easy access for bats, balls, and that occasional sprained ankle victim. If only the ball was this big in the pros.
Tomorrow on ABC 7 News at 10. Looking to spend a night on the town? Food critic James Ward shows you the best Chicago has to offer. From shoestring budgets to fancy and expensive, we'll show you the best places to chow down downtown. Then...
Are you big, small, or somewhere in between? What happens if you're off the weight charts? Does that mean you're not healthy? Find out the real deal on How Much Should You Weigh? Tomorrow on ABC 7 News at 10.
Precious Hotline, what's your problem?
We're stuck with skunky beer.
So it's not Budweiser?
No.
Remain calm, sir. We're on our way. Next time, look for this.
Born on dating from Budweiser. What fresh beer tastes like.
Precious Hotline.
Could we order some Chinese?
When you were a kid, your Mother's Day gifts reflected your creative side. Well, now that you're older, let Montgomery Ward help bring your sensible side into the picture. At Montgomery Ward, you'll find the kinds of gifts every mom everywhere wants and needs. This Mother's Day, don't underestimate the value of practicality or good taste. She won't. Hey, what did you expect? She's a mom. For the kinds of gifts any mother would love and use, shop Montgomery Ward.
Welcome back to our Chevy Geo halftime report. We're live at Sport Mart here in downtown Chicago, located on LaSalle and Ontario Street. Steve Cashel back here with Norm Van Leer. Bulls trailing right now at halftime, 53-51. Bulls led by one after one quarter. Your thoughts so far the first half? Not a very well-played game.
Well, in some areas not well played, Steve, but at the same time, I think the Bulls need to go in and make adjustments, mainly with their offense. I think more than Mookie Blaylock scoring, it's Atlanta's defense that have the Bulls somewhat bottled up a little bit. But even though they have balanced scoring with the big three doing and leading the way with scoring, they don't seem to be as smooth in running their offense, and you have to contribute that to Atlanta's defense. At the same time, I don't think one individual scoring is going to beat the Bulls. I said that before. I'd rather have Mookie Blaylock get 40, 50 points than the rest of this team getting second shots, third shots, creating fouls, because I don't think he can maintain the shooting pace down the stretch run, because they can certainly make adjustments and cut that off and make other people score at this point. I like the setup that they have now. I just think they need to get the offense a little smoother and start running a little better. But you know what? Let's give Atlanta credit for playing better defense and give them credit.
Mookie Blaylock so far has hit 6 3-pointers in the game. He leads all scorers with 20 points, and pretty good balance by Atlanta right now. Steve Smith has 10, Dikembe Mutombo was 8, Christian Laettner 9, as once again Atlanta leads the Bulls 53-51. The Hawks led by as many as 8 points. The Bulls' largest lead was 6 points. That was back in the first quarter. Still to come, we're going to take a look at the mailman versus the man as we attempt to handicap the race for the most valuable player in the NBA. We'll also get you set up for second half action from the United Center as our Chevy Geo halftime report continues.
Talk about a cakewalk. Jump on a plane, bang. You're driving on the most famous strip of highway in the world. Yes, sir. Backstage with showgirls. Hey, how much time do you guys have? What a dream.
You need a submarine to get that one out, Colonel.
These guys are supposed to be the king of golf.
Thank you very much.
This town is a fantasy. There really is only one Las Vegas.
The 97 Mazda 626 LX Special Edition. Lease for $229. Add rich leather and the lease goes to. Add air and a silky automatic and the lease cruises to. Add power everything and the lease rolls to. Add the best basic warranty in its class and you get the idea. Lease or buy for $18,345.
Look to Menards for brand name savings.
Save now on patio doors from Anderson. The white sliding PermaShield door features insulated glass for year-round comfort. With screen and handles, $677. Brighten any room with spread wall paint from Glidden. An interior latex that covers beautifully. Now $7.44 a gallon. Load up with savings and register to win Indy gear at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
He didn't want to be tied to a desk. When he started his business, he was already looking 20 years ahead. When you're 25, who takes the long view? Or finds a broker who actually asks, where do you want to be? Your business becomes your life. I know that now. He knew it then. And I have a feeling he's still looking 20 years ahead. How's he doing it?
More research, insight, understanding. Payne Weber. Invest with more intelligence.
Keeping your business running like clockwork. We understand how important that is. That's why Chicago's hometown airline, United, gives you over 1,000 flights in and out of O'Hare, with more service to more cities than any other airline. How is it we understand business so well? Because our over 50,000 employees are business owners themselves, the employee owners of United. Come fly our friendly skies.
Back at Sport Mart, Bulls trailing at the half, 53-51 to Atlanta. The talk of the town here in Chicago is not only on the Bulls going for a 5th NBA championship, but also about the choice for the NBA's Most Valuable Player Award. It's between two players, Michael Jordan and Karl Malone. Jordan, who has won this award 4 times, including last season, finished as the league's leading scorer. Normally, it was another great year for Michael, but it was expected of him. Will it hurt him in the voting?
I don't know. I don't understand why Mike would not get this championship or MVP for this run. I think he's had an outstanding year for the best team in basketball by way of record. He led the way.
Has Michael shown any signs to you of deteriorating?
Well, no, and at the same time, he's adjusted, Steve, so he's quite well on the way of being the best he can at that age.
Karl Malone this year may have been his best in his 12-year career. He's been the MVP of the All-Star game and finished 3rd in the MVP for the league 2 years ago, but has yet to win the Biggie, which many people think he may win, especially with the type of season the Jazz have had. But you say don't give it to Malone before another guy, right?
Well, I'd say if Michael Jordan doesn't get this MVP, as far as what I think, I got to go with Timmy Hardaway. I think he carried Miami with 61 victories and Mourning's out most of the season, and most of the shooters, Marley's out most of the season. They had 61 victories with this young man carrying the way. Now, my vote is going there after Michael Jordan. And how you can't and won't vote for Michael, I don't understand that. He's got to get the MVP as far as I'm concerned.
So you like Michael first, Timmy Hardaway second, Malone third?
That's the way I like that order right there as it goes. And I think Tim Hardaway did an outstanding job for a Miami team. Once again, it was riddled with injuries. They got 61 victories. That's amazing to me.
All right, we'll get you set for second half action from the United Center as our Chevy Geo halftime report continues here from Sport Mart in the Wall of Fame. Norm's hands are here, and so are the imprints of Michael Jordan.
This halftime break is brought to you in part by Brewery Fresh Budweiser. Now introducing new Born on Dating. It's the day your Bud was born because fresh beer tastes better.
Well, not much of a crowd here today, but it should be a good game. All right, Stewart's batting 3 here.
Hold my Budweiser. I'm going to go find those guys.
All right, Wedman toes the rubber. Delivered. Whoa, a long drive to left field. That ball's going to carry. It's going out of here. There's one lucky fan out there, but he's got something in his hands.
Drop the beer.
What's he going to do? He's got to make his move. His double was good. Oh, that ball bounced about 20 feet off his head.
Please, just let go of the beer.
Let go of the beer, sir. Welcome to the Chevy Astro interior.
I was strong as I could be. Like a rock. Nothing ever got to me.
No matter how comfortable it looks, it never forgets that it's a Chevy truck.
Like a rock.
Astro from Chevrolet, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Like a rock.
What if you could boost the healing power of modern medicine using your mind? Sound impossible? In Health Watch, NBC5's Joan Esposito introduces us to a patient who's using her mind to help treat her ailing heart. Tonight on the NBC5 News at 10, right after ER. Tonight on the NBC5 News at 10.
His controversial commentary sparked arguments and debate across Chicago. Now Jerry Springer has quit. The complete story.
Tonight on the NBC5 News at 10. Committed to Chicago.
People will do just about anything for Bulls tickets.
And now we have the human cannonball.
For Bulls tickets, I'm going off the backboard. Nothing but net. I'm going!
Ooh, airball.
Now there's an easier way to get Bulls tickets. Sign up for Ameritech Cellular paging service and be automatically registered to win Bulls playoff tickets. No purchase necessary. Ameritech, your link to better communication.
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the NBA.
Back here at the Sport Mart downtown Chicago, just a couple miles from the United Center. It's one of the old-time jerseys here on display at the Sport Mart in LaSalle in Ontario. Bulls trailing at the half right now, 53-51. They had a nice 13-2 run, Norm, in this first quarter. They seem to play well and have those big runs in the third quarter of games like this. I think it's going to happen tonight.
Well, Lenny Wilkins is well aware of that. He knows his Bulls had what we call the bull run. So it'll be interesting to see how he adjusts to the Bulls. They need to play the defense and get a little more continuity on the offense.
All right, Norm and I will see you back in the studio after the game for complete post-game. Second half is about to start. Following these messages, we'll head back out to the United Center. We'll rejoin Tom, John, Pax, and Little Lou for the call of the second half. We'll see you after the game. Enjoy it.
In some places, full-time four-wheel drive isn't a luxury. It's a necessity. The incredible 7-passenger Lexus LX 450. Take the high road at your Chicago area Lexus dealer.
When your girlfriend is one of America's most powerful women, it's easy to be overlooked. But Stedman Graham has a lot going for him as well. Tyrone Joyner sits down with the ex-sports star. Get in the loop with Stedman Graham on the Sports Channel Report.
Using drugs cost me my childhood. I was 12 years old and I resorted to male prostitution in order to fund my habit. When that first needle went in my arm, I didn't know that it would end, you know, when I was 40. Being told that now that I've been using a needle all these years, I have AIDS and I have paid for my kicks with my life. Every choice we make, whether it's the choice to smoke a cigarette, a joint, or a pipe full of crack, every choice that we make is basically a choice between living or dying.
Welcome. My name is Fred Bartucci with Watson Motorsports, and as you can see, our phones are ringing off the hook, and we're going to tell you why.
For openers, we just received over $10 million in special financing just for you.
So no matter if you have good credit, bad credit, or no credit, with just $100 down, you can drive today.
And don't forget, we have 4 lots with over 500 cars to choose from, so call us now at 708-388-5000.
World Champion Chicago Bulls basketball is brought to you in part by W1 by Raymond Weil, the cutting edge in time. Montgomery Ward, your headquarters for the official Chicago Bulls team shop. And by Discover Card, proud sponsor of the Smithsonian's 150th anniversary.
Hawks lead the Bulls 53-51. And guys, I guess as we come up toward the first half highlights, I think the thing that stands out is the Bulls made a little run at the end of the first quarter, but then Atlanta came right back, right?
Well, they seem to do the same thing in the second quarter, and the Hawks seem to be playing much, much better, but I keep looking, and the Bulls are only 1 or 2 points down. And we had some highlights in the first half. Let's take a look at him here. Michael with one of his 11 rebounds, or 10 rebounds, comes down, gives it to Pip. Pip with a 360, finds Harper underneath for the layup. Nice job, good vision. There's Harper now with the ball, fires it on to Michael. Michael's going to find a cutting Toni Kukoč going to the hoop. Toni had 11 points in the first half. A guy that was sensational the whole time for them was Mookie Blaylock. He comes up here, 6 out of 7 from threes. Look at this, nobody picks him up. Boom, just like a gimme for that guy. Nicely done. Look, crossover move here, nobody could stop him. Up he goes. Hits one more three. There comes Laettner on in against Toni. Gets right up underneath. Misses the shot. Michael again up for the rebound. He comes down. Gives the ball to Pippen. Pippen looks around. He finds Harper underneath. Harper with a nice catch in the layup. Here comes Pip. Pip looking, firing the ball in. Harp says, hey, how did I get so loose down here without Mutombo bothering me? And here's a nice play. Pippen slams it in on a nice pass from Luke Longley.
Let's take a look at Payne Weber first half stats. Atlanta shoots 49%. Bulls get more shots, but shoot only 44%, make one more. Three-pointers about the same. Free throws, Atlanta with 3 more of those. Rebounds, Bulls doing a better job there. Fast break points, strong for the Bulls, but the score is Atlanta leads it by 2. Let's find out the coach's perspective. Lou Canella standing by. Louis.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. We're standing by with Jimmy Rogers, and the team got off to a great start in the first quarter. Things broke down a bit offensively in the second quarter. What happened?
Well, I think they got very aggressive offensively, and obviously Mookie was very hot in that first half. He gets 6 3-pointers. We've got to really get a hold of him, contain him, and I think we've got to just pick up our intensity and aggressiveness on defense.
All right, thanks, Coach. Back to you guys.
Well, I'm not really surprised by what he said, as the Bulls want to pick up the intensity. You just saw Lou Canellis, John Paxson, Johnny Kerr. I'm Tom Dorr here at the United Center as the Bulls take on the Atlanta Hawks. Eastern Conference Semifinals Game 2 of this best-of-7 series. And
well, one of the things that you look at, Jimmy Rogers talked about the aggressiveness and intensity defensively. The Bulls only forced 5 turnovers. That's really not along what they like to do, especially on your home floor where you like to get up and get active. But let's remember what they did in the third quarter the other night, where their defense really became tenacious. They got after the ball. They forced turnovers. Their hands were quick and active. And that's what you'd like to see this quarter. But talk about the half Mookie had. Not only did he have the 20 points on the 7 of 10 shooting and 6 of 7 from 3-point range, he led him in rebounding with 5, and he's coming off a game where he had 12 as well. So I think Jimmy hit it too in the fact that they somehow have to get a hold of this guy and make it tougher for him, maybe work him a little bit harder up and down the floor.
Second half surge Tuesday against the Hawks. You see the first and second quarter. Bulls came out smoking, and a big part of that third quarter was Scottie Pippen. Scottie just took the offensive load on his shoulders. Bulls have it now to start the third quarter. Rodman with Mutombo way off of him. Harp looks down low. Luke. Step in. Scottie started to shoot the 3. Shot clock at 4 at 3. Scottie looked at the other basket, saw the shot clock, takes a 3 off. Tried to save it and can't do it.
Yeah, that's where we're right, Johnny. Go ahead.
Luke had that ball right down on the blocks. That's where you want to step in, take that little right-hand hook.
Right, and with the matchup with Mutombo playing Dennis and Laettner playing Luke, Luke has the size advantage. That when he gets the ball down there, if he has an opportunity to make a move, he's got to go ahead and do it.
Laettner now posts up with Dennis on him.
That's
quick
nice.
Return, and Ty Corbin lays it in.
That's nice. That's just a little back screen. The Bulls switched out, and Corbin just ran right to the basket. Well executed by Atlanta.
Bulls with the reverse of the triangle as Scottie with Mookie on him now. Goes down low for Luke. Longley puts it up and in.
That was a tougher of the 2 shots, but that one went in for him.
Mutombo limps just ever so slightly as he comes into your picture now. Smith had it knocked away by Ron Harper. 15 on the shot clock. 10:43 left here in the third period.
Two down. That's a good drive by Smith, but Harp got a hand on it to block it. Oh, there they throw it away.
Looking for Steve Smith, and the pass was a little strong.
Here's the Hawks. You look at the top of the screen, or the bottom of the screen. They run a little back screen here on Michael with Corbin. Michael and Scottie switch, but Michael just turns his back a little bit, and a good pass by Blaylock with Scottie Pippen's hands down.
Scottie goes by Mutombo inside, and I think that's a foul on Mutombo as he stuck the knee out. Tried to slow Scottie down.
Pip hesitates here now, and there you see the knee stuck out.
Lob inside for Luke. Makes the
They're going to call a hook on Luke. I'm not sure about that. He was deep enough. He just put the ball on the floor one time.
Make a little power move instead of hooking him, you think? Robert Parrish up off the Bulls bench.
Well, we know that Brian Williams is probably gone for the night. I didn't see him back on the bench again, did you?
I don't see him down there, no.
No.
See, Mookie gets so deep on that screen roll. And when he brings it out, he's at the foul line, and he can cause a lot of problems.
MJ right side, just out. Laettner with the rebound. Michael with 11 rebounds, by the way, 5 assists and 14 points. Laettner up high. Michael goes behind the screen roll. Dennis helps him just a second. Blaylock gets it back to Laettner.
That's a walk.
Yeah, how many? He went from the top of the key down into the basket that time. Now look at this. Look at this.
Picks up his dribble. There's
look at
two.
this. There's one.
I might actually, I'd take that back. It looked like a pretty good step through.
So he gets a pair. At an upcoming playoff game, the first 10,000 fans in the United Center will receive a Bulls poster, compliments of the Sun-Times.
Well, the Bulls starting off slowly here. They started off like giants after the first 5 points were scored by the Hawks in that last game.
56-53, Hawks with the lead. 9:40 left. Backdoor to MJ. Nice pass, nice movement, nice catch and bucket.
And again, with the defense extended up to half court, you have all that area behind at the basket that's open, and that's just a good read on an overplay from the wing.
Smith goes by and lays it in.
Well, that's something you don't see in the Miami Knicks game, do you? Knicks series.
Pip with the fake. 15 hits. What's that, Johnny?
The guy going down the lane for the easy layup. You got to pick yourself up. A technical foul. Who was that on Rodman? You knew it would be Jabby that would find him, wouldn't you, tonight?
Yeah, there's no question about that. I don't know what he did.
I mean,
Dennis locks him up there.
He didn't say anything, did he? He had 25,500 people here, and only one guy saw it.
Or heard it.
I mean, you know, yeah, you're going to look for him, but you don't have to go out of your way looking.
Hawks lead it by 1, 58-57. Laettner behind backdoor, blocked by Harper.
That's the third or fourth time Harp has done that defensively to Steve Smith. One of the best at coming from behind and distracting shots.
Let's see what he's got here. Let's see what he's got here if he's got him.
Mutombo with the block.
Most times you think Harp is beat on plays like that, but he just finds a way to get himself back in the play and come up with a good defensive effort.
Pax, when he was earlier in his career, was he thought of as a good defensive player, would you say?
Yeah, because he was, he's aggressive, but he was more of that offensive player in Cleveland where he had, he was such a threat.
And with the Clippers as well, Scottie inside.
Mutombo puts him down. Fans really getting upset here.
The Bulls have taken a 1-point lead. Mookie Blaylock's been quiet here in the third period. Laettner wants to post up. Now they improve their spacing a little bit. Blaylock goes inside. Laettner in the lane, puts it in.
Yeah, he just kept working real hard, and actually when Corbin swung the ball back up top to Blaylock, he just stepped in front of Dennis. He was right at the dotted line.
Let's see what happens here. The Chief is down on Laettner.
Scottie comes off the screen.
I think that's why Phil put Robert in the game. He wasn't getting anything out of Luke really down in that post. See if Robert can get some looks against Laettner.
Hawks lead it by 1. Blaylock
throws it away.
Here with the Chip Schaefer. Luke Canellis, what's up?
We've seen the end of Brian Williams for tonight. He's in the locker room. It's the right knee. They'll reevaluate it tomorrow. He's with team doctors tonight. He'll meet with them again tomorrow.
Not what we wanted to hear, obviously. Tip inside for Michael. Blaylock there to double team. Michael turnaround jumper. No. Rebound pulled down by Mutombo. 60 to 59. Hawks with the lead.
Phil wanted Dennis to run back and get matched up with Laettner. He didn't want to see this happen. Robert, he actually had another chance to get him again.
Mutombo inside, put it up, and Robert Parrish will pick up the foul.
That's exactly what he didn't want to happen. Actually, when Dennis came over to help and forced Laettner to give it up, that would have been the opportunity for Dennis to stay. But you see Laettner just step out of the post. He knows he has a matchup that he favors. Dennis is going to come across the floor to double team.
That's when I thought that they were going to catch him in an illegal, and Dennis couldn't quite get back. And then finally they get it underneath here, and the Chief comes over and
they had an opportunity when Dennis came to double team Laettner, then asked him to go back to Mutombo underneath the basket, and then you would have had the matchup that you wanted. But Phil doesn't want to see Dennis, after a rebound, hassle with Mutombo down at the other end because he knows Laettner's going to run the floor, and that's Dennis's matchup.
MJ with it on the wing.
See, there's Mutombo again, just hanging underneath the basket.
Scottie for three, off, and Ron Harper with the rebound. Has he had a ball game or what?
Just quietly, Hart's done a lot of good things in these first two games.
Chief finds Scottie on the wing, now with Corbin on him. On top, Harper for three.
Off the glass, but he'll take three. He'll take all of it.
Right on cue, Harp.
That's right, good point. It's another $73 that goes to charitable car wreck. 62 to 60. Bulls with the lead. Mutombo with the high screen. Smith goes right to the basket.
Well,
that's where he needs some help.
Well,
right?
and what we've seen twice in this quarter, usually it's Mookie up top running that high screen and roll, but we've seen now twice where Smith has run it, gotten all the way to the basket for layups.
We got a timeout, 6:20 left in the third. Bulls and Hawks are tied at 62.
Coming up after the game, go live in the locker room for Bulls post-game comments and complete analysis. Plus, the White Sox host Oakland and get in the loop with Oprah's main squeeze, Stedman Graham, tonight.
Welcome to sunny California. Man, if it wasn't raining, I'll be busting y'all up right now. Little crossover right to left. You know, I hit you with the first step. I'll blow right by you.
Sometimes we just try to make you look good.
Stop like that. Oh, I think the sun coming out too.
Keeping your business running like clockwork. We understand how important that is. That's why Chicago's hometown airline, United, gives you over 1,000 flights in and out of O'Hare, with more service to more cities than any other airline. How is it we understand business so well? Because our over 50,000 employees are business owners themselves, the employee owners of United. Come fly our friendly skies.
It's his first time in the hospital. So who do you want making the decisions? We're HMO Illinois, a Blue Cross HMO, and we want to be your health plan, not your doctor. We want your family members to choose their own doctor. So we'll give you more doctors, hospitals, and pharmacies, more choices than any other HMO. And you can always see a specialist when you need one. HMO Illinois, we want to be your health plan, not your doctor.
Ron Harper doing a nice job on the offensive end here. Just chasing down a missed shot opportunity. You see him underneath the basket, reading the ball coming off boarded because he comes out, finds his way to the top of the floor, banks in a three-point attempt.
Like to use that board when you can.
Absolutely. But here at the other end, this is that high screen and roll that Atlanta likes to run. This time with Smith. And you have a couple guys. Michael fakes, but he's got a shooter in the corner, and Blaylock he doesn't want to leave. But Dennis was underneath there just a second late. You don't want to allow the guy to waltz right to the basket and score the layup.
Well, the Chief hasn't got that much time either, and I don't know if Harp knew that he was not going to come out and show himself there on the top of the key.
Right, when Harp got hung up on the screen to begin with, kind of had to turn his back and rolled off of it and wasn't in good position.
MJ double team. Now Laettner goes away. Dennis went right to the basket and lays it in.
That's just great execution. They take the ball to one side of the floor. They take it over to the right. All the defense flows with the ball. And Dennis, who set the screen, finds himself wide open at the basket. That's something they practice. It's a great read and a great pass from Pippen.
Mookie with it on the right side, goes down low. Mutombo. Not quite as fond of being on that side. Still got it, and he's fouled by the Chief.
No, he's not, but he made Chief bite on the fake and then was able to get up underneath. Here he is trying to get the ball in onto the baseline. There's the fake, Chief up in the air, and then just the up and under move. And he's become more polished as a post player.
Here's a play that Pip just found Dennis wide open. Dennis just catches and lays it on up.
See all the defense flow to that right side of the floor. Good outlet.
Scottie with it down in the corner. 4 rebounds for Dennis to go with those 2 points. Quiet nights for him.
They switch freely on screen rolls at times. Now you've got Scottie with the match on Mutombo. He also had Parrish with the Laettner on him in the post.
Tied at 64 as Mookie Blaylock makes the move down low. Mutombo backs his way in, comes underneath, blocked by the Chief. MJ on top, looks for the opening in the corner. Harper. Chief with Corbin on him. Spins through, and a holding foul on Ty Corbin.
Good defensive work here by Robert Parrish. Watching what Mutombo does, he steps inside like he tried to do last time, and a good block.
That's a case of where you're going with your right hand, you're shooting back into the defense and allowing Robert Parrish to get his hand on the ball.
Pips missed some threes here in this third quarter, and he's been that's the way he came out the other day.
Dennis with the rebound, got pushed out, but called timeout. Timeout Bulls, 4:49 left, and the Bulls will take a 20.
Good call.
He can shoot the ball. The 3-on-3 Classic returns this summer to Chicago's Grand Park. Call 312-455-4000 for more information, and check the Tribune on Wednesday or Sunday, or visit any Sport Mart location for an entry form. Luke Canellis, what's up, buddy?
First time we've seen the Chief in the postseason, fellas. 183 career playoff games over his 21-year career. Won championships with the Celtics in 81, 84, and 86. Brings me to this question. What are your guys' thoughts on his former teammate Larry Bird being named new head coach of the Indiana Pacers today?
Reds, what do you think? Any surprise in that?
I don't know if there's a surprise. They're trying to sign a local boy and let him make good, but he was one great player.
I think it's good. I think it's good for the Pacers. I think it's good for the game, and you just hope that he'll get a staff with him that's very effective.
Give the Hawks a taste of their own medicine.
We talked about a good timeout in the first half by Atlanta and Lenny Wilkins. There's a good use of the 20 by Phil. You diagram it. They know that they're overplaying. Michael just goes to the back door.
Dennis Rodman steps out to help, and Mookie still hits the 3.
It's his first shot of this quarter, and he knocks down a 3.
On top for MJ, 67-66 Hawks, 4:15 left in the third. Michael rocker step, kicks it out.
3 seconds. Yeah, they got too many guys in there. 3 seconds.
Well, the one. Here's the side out of bounds. Michael just setting Steve Smith up, the fake out, and then the backdoor cut, and a nice pass to the basket. The one thing the Bulls have yet to show in this series is on this screen roll with Mookie Blaylock is jumping him big and double teaming him as he comes off the screen roll. Right now they've allowed him pretty much to have his way with the dribble and letting him dictate what he's doing. And there may come a point when you just say enough's enough and try to jump that big and force him to give the ball up.
Well, it's kind of like Atlanta has done with that token pressure defense, at least to change up what they're doing and make him think about that. Laettner, a long deuce, top of the circle, and Michael right there.
He just doesn't look real comfortable or confident with his jump shot.
Laettner, 4 of 11 from the field. Bulls will set it up, try and take the lead back. The Chief had his pass deflected, got it back. On the dribble, fade away, 12-footer, nope. Michael had the rebound, knocked away, got it back. Bulls with a fresh shot clock. Toni Kukoč ready to check in. MJ through the lane, hands off, and a foul on the pass off, and Toni will get in now.
Is that Laettner?
I didn't see who he said. Dennis comes out as Toni
Steve
comes
Smith.
in. Scottie fakes the three. Chief with the screen. Lots of time on the clock. Michael in the center spot, one-on-one as the Bulls clear out. Mookie comes over to help. MJ fade away from 12. Chief right there.
And Mookie broke out on Michael that last time, and it's a good thing Chief was able to tap that one in.
Smith gets this high screen roll. This worked very well for them here in the third quarter.
Well, they did a nice job forcing it back into traffic.
Laettner comes down and a foul called on the pass. We got a timeout, 2:55 left in the third. Bulls lead the Hawks by 1.
W1 by Raymond Weil. The cutting edge in time. Time for the next generation. W1 by Raymond Weil.
Your name, please?
Michael Jordan. I've made shots at the buzzer. I've been in championship games. But I've never had butterflies like this.
Show me your horn.
These people are all business.
Okay.
Good thing I had my Chevy Blazer along. Sure came through in the clutch.
DOFTP-ZLCDO.
Have a seat over in the blue chairs and wait for them to call your name.
I not only renewed my license,
Smile, look at the camera.
I renewed my confidence as well.
I want boom, da, boom, doom. Why do you want to look at my Discover card statement? It's mine. I live in New York City. Of course, I love the theater. Bring in the noise. You know, it's my favorite show. I go there as often as I can, trying to steal another step. And my kids want me to be more risky. Come to Garçon stuff is, you know, it's risky. I want a cashback bonus.
How many credit cards make a statement like that? It pays to Discover. Use it where you see the Novus sign.
Beautiful downtown Chicago on this gorgeous evening as the temperatures hit the 70s. Inside the United Center, we're joined by Pete Babcock, general manager of the Atlanta Hawks. You guys are in it. You're down by 1. How do you feel about the last quarter and 2:55?
Well, our guys are competing, and we came here to compete. We don't want to concede anything to Chicago. We understand how great a team they are and the great tradition that they've established here. But we feel like we're a competitive team, and we want to come in here and give them everything we possibly could.
Pete, you were the man who brought Dikembe Mutombo to this Atlanta Hawks organization, invested $55 million in him. What he's done on the court has been obvious. He's taken you guys to the second round of the playoffs. What has this guy done for this Hawks organization off the court?
He brings so many intangibles to organizations. It's incredible. He works in the community. He works not only in the local community, but the national community and the international community. And he's got an extroverted personality, so he's helped the personality of our team emerge, which has been a real positive for us.
Signing him put you guys in a tremendous problem with the salary cap, and you've filled gaps with a lot of guys at the minimum salary. Your name has been mentioned as one of those for the Executive of the Year. Do you think you deserve the award?
We're trying to win a championship. It's the only thing we're concentrating our efforts on. It's the only thing that's important to our organization. So the guys we have done a great job, and we hope they keep competing and knock off this great Chicago Bulls team.
Congratulations on the success so far.
Thanks.
Back to Tommy, John, and John.
Well, a missed layup by the Chief, and Michael followed it up with a missed layup.
Steve Smith runs into Scottie. Mookie on top. Laettner with Toni right there, hits.
16 for Laettner now. He's starting to put it together in a three-point advantage for the Hawks.
Tip comes off the screen. Finds the Chief, who steps out on the floor, takes the 12-footer off the back iron. And Mookie brings it up. Judd Bushler in the ballgame for the Bulls. Right there on him. Laettner one-on-one with Toni. Backs his way in, continues to back. Scottie comes over to help. Laettner missed it. Mutombo right there brought it down and had it knocked away. Tomorrow night, expect some offensive fireworks when the Sox welcome the Athletics to town. First pitch tomorrow night at 7 on Sports Channel. We know the Sox inside out.
What a different quarter from the Bulls in the other night. The Bulls outscored them 38-20. Really turned it up defensively.
Laettner coming over to set the screen for Mookie. Toni comes over to help. Laettner goes right to the basket. And it's blocked by the Chief inside for Mutombo, who got it, and he's fouled by Scottie Pippen.
Well, that's the first time they worked that screen roll where both guys came out on Mookie, and he was able to flip the ball. Watch this. He flips the ball over to Laettner. Laettner gives a good fake here. Misses the shot, but right underneath.
Well, Toni actually went early as a double teamer, never really let the screen get set. And so Mookie had the vision there. He was able to just make that pass to Laettner, and then the rotation wasn't there.
So the Bulls got to pick it up here a little bit.
74-68. The Hawks trying to steal one here at the United Center. Toni off the screen for three. In and out. Mutombo with the rebound.
In and out doesn't help you at this stage. It's got to stay in and down.
Smith off the screen, puts up a three on the other end. Gets that, but Mutombo right there for the slam.
Chief might be getting just a little bit tired now. He hasn't seen much action. Mutombo, 15.
Hawks lead by 8. Under a minute left in the third period. Kukoč on the post up. Michael comes back off the screen. MJ, long range jumper, hits for 2.
They need to stop here. They get another possession. 39 seconds to see if Atlanta tries to go quick for 2. But they've been pretty content, just kind of bringing it up and running their half-court offense.
Laettner comes down. Toni knocked it away. Laettner comes right inside. Chief with a block. Toni got elbowed. Shot clock, game clock, just a couple seconds different now. Bulls with a chance for the last shot.
They just want to get a good shot this possession.
Scottie backs his way in, out to Toni. He'll take another three and miss that in and out. Coming up to the end of the third period. Mookie runner blocked by Michael. 1 second and that's it. We've played 3 periods here at the United Center, and the Atlanta Hawks lead the Chicago Bulls 76-70.
Budweiser, the king of beers, is proud to be part of another Chicago Bulls season. And introducing new Born on Dating. It's the day your Bud was born, because fresh beer tastes better.
Want a Bud?
Sure.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. Yes!
Where were we?
Relive Japan, Chicago's most authentic Japanese steakhouse, invites you to treat your mama-san to her favorite steak and seafood combination. Make your Mother's Day reservation now and experience the fun and tradition of Relive Japan. Relive Japan, where every night is a celebration.
Distinct, capable, real. The new 97 Jeep Wrangler is still what it's always been, but better. Southwest Jeep Eagle has one for you and much more, including Jeep Cherokees, Grand Cherokees, and a huge selection of pre-owned cars, plus an award-winning service department to provide your car with care of the highest standard. And at Southwest Jeep Eagle, your business is always welcome. Bad credit, even no credit, you can finance. If you want people who are down to earth but expect savings that are out of this world, visit Southwest Jeep Eagle on the corner of Archer and Kedzie.
Sports Channel's playoff coverage of the world champion Chicago Bulls is brought to you in part by Ameritech, your link to better communication. United Airlines is proud to be a participating sponsor of tonight's program. Come fly Chicago's hometown airline. Come fly our friendly skies. And by American National, the bank for business.
Going in into this series, Christian Laettner said, if we can control Michael Jordan in the fourth quarter of games, we could win. Washington said the same thing, and we know what Jordan did in that Washington series. He scored 37 a game. 40% of Michael's points came in the fourth quarter of those games, or 15 points every fourth quarter. If they can hold them tonight, guys, the Bulls are in trouble. Right now, the Hawks are up by 6. Back to you guys.
Take a look at our Ginsana game reset. Scoring by quarters. Been pretty even as you look through. Atlanta had a 3-point advantage in the second. And then you see the score, 76-70 after 3 periods.
A couple things stand out from that third quarter. The Bulls shot just 38%. They didn't get to the foul line. They've only been there 8 times in the game. The Hawks are 13 of 22. And the Hawks got Mutombo and Laettner going in that quarter, 7 points each. One thing we'll look for is if this Atlanta team gets fatigued. They've played all 5 starters here the entire second half, all through the third quarter, and they start the fourth.
Mookie Blaylock with it on top. Steve Kerr, Randy Brown.
Unbelievable. That was an unbelievable 3. He had nowhere to go on that. He gave Steve 1 step, came back, hit the 3. Wow.
Kerr and Brown with Rodman, Longley, and Kukoč on the floor for the Bulls.
See, it's so hard to make a post pass with Dennis. Mutombo's guarding him because he just sits in the lap of the post player, so the Bulls aren't able to do that. When Dennis catches the ball on the wing, as he did that time.
2 on the shot clock as Henderson will come in.
Biggest lead here, 9 points now for the Hawks, and the Bulls not looking good even on that offensive. So 2 seconds on the clock.
3-point shooting for Atlanta. Steve Kerr, that's
right at his feet.
Yep, bad pass.
Right at his feet.
79-70. Hawks with a chance to go into double figures with this lead. Again, trying to get a steal of a game here at the United Center. Steve Smith, turnaround jumper is good.
And this is a tough matchup because you got Michael on the bench and you need some rest, but you've got Randy Brown and Steve Kerr, and with a big guard lineup, Steve Smith just going to take Randy down in the post and shoot over the top of him. He's a real good post player.
Dennis goes back toward Toni. Threw it up. No basket. Toni Kukoč will go to the line for a pair.
You may want to have to play Michael tired or not. I mean, they're going with those 5 guys the whole second half.
We've seen the Bulls do this a few times tonight where the defense is out playing the wing and the post player comes up high and they just reverse the action there.
See Toni coming up, and that season average, he's got 12 now. In an upcoming playoff game, the first 10,000 fans in the United Center will receive a Bulls poster, compliments of the Sun-Times. Missed that one, and Laettner is right there.
And now Atlanta has a big lineup, and we haven't seen this yet in the series. They've brought in Henderson for Corbin. Now you've got Mutombo, Laettner, and Henderson in the game. Makes them big.
Down low they go for Mutombo. Comes through, gets that middle position with the rolling hook and hits it.
Well, they've got everything going now. The outside, 3s, inside, 17 by him, 16 by Laettner. Bulls scrambling now, trying to get something going.
Randy Brown goes down low for Luke. Finds Randy in the lane, blocked by Mutombo.
Dennis brought Mutombo right to the basket that time on Randy's cut. So when Randy put it up there, Mutombo's there to block the shot.
A 3 by Smith, and timeout called by Phil Jackson. 9:48 left, and the Hawks lead this one by 15.
Flowers are the way to a woman's heart. Personally, I'd rather have a good peanut butter sandwich. But on Mother's Day, I buy flowers. I figure a man's gotta do what a man's gotta do.
Dominic's has everything to make this Mother's Day the best one yet. Mother's Day bouquets from $3.99. Spring Moms $8.99. And look at that. 18-ounce Skippy peanut butter, 2 for $3.
You gotta know these things about women.
Dominic's, for people who know their food.
Using drugs cost me my childhood. I was 12 years old and I resorted to male prostitution in order to fund my habit. When that first needle went in my arm, I didn't know that it would end, you know, when I was 40. Being told that now that I've been using a needle all these years, I have AIDS and I have paid for my kicks with my life. Every choice we make, whether it's the choice to smoke a cigarette, a joint, or a pipe full of crack, every choice that we make is basically a choice between living or dying.
Only one company brings you Chicago's premier properties. From the gray stones of the Gold Coast to the brownstones of Lincoln Park to the distinctive residences of the North Shore. Caldwell Banker Can. No other real estate company combines the resources of the nation's leading real estate firm with a local company whose personal attention is legendary. Now only one is premier. Caldwell Banker Can.
86-71, Hawks with the lead as this little guy is 8 today. See that I'm 8 today? Jackie Bank, Jonas Pizzito here at the game.
Well, Mutombo's finally got his game going, establishing it in the post, and that's what he likes to do. Go to the middle from that left block, shoot that sweeping hook. Tony a little late on his help defense, and here's a baseline cut by Dennis, bringing Mutombo right into the action. It was a real good cut by Randy Brown, and a nice pass from Luke. But there's Mutombo, and he wipes that one away.
Well, John, you thought the Bulls might have to come back with Michael and Scottie no matter how tired they might be, and that's just what Phil has done. Jason Caffey into the ball game as well with Luke Longley and Ron Harper. Luke sets the screen. Scottie comes off, finds Longley. Baseline jumper from 12. Nope. And Henderson with the rebound gives it back to Blaylock.
Now, the idea is a good one because you involve Mutombo in screen roll. He followed the play, and Luke was wide open for the shot. He's going to have to knock that down.
Laettner wanted to go inside to Smith, looking for post position. Has it down low, knocked away. Hart tries and does come up with it. MJ gets fouled by Steve Smith. That's just their second team foul. The Bulls without one so far. Shoot the Bull 3-on-3 Classic returns this summer to Chicago's Grant Park. Call 312-455-4000 for more information. Check the Tribune on Wednesday or Sunday or visit any Sport Mart location for an entry form. MJ with it on the right side. Turns and looks. Takes the 16-footer. That's off. And again, Atlanta right there for the rebound.
Oh, nobody stopped the ball.
Oh, right. Now Michael finally had it. You're right. Henderson just took it. He was looking for somebody to pass it to. Was nobody there. Before you knew it, he was right under the basket. Jordan picks up his second foul.
Michael takes the fadeaway and hits the back of the rim. Comes out long, and Henderson just picks it up and keeps going with it. You don't expect him to. He's looking for somebody to pass it to, but there's no one there and no one in front of him, so he takes it to the basket. Now this is getting in dangerous territory now.
Big hole.
9 minutes to go. The fact that you're down by 16 or 17, you're going to have to get it done defensively now. And it's that energy that they had in the first half when they pushed the ball up the floor by getting defensive stops. It's going to help them out here.
Bulls 29 of 73, so they've taken 11 more but made several less. MJ fadeaway jumper, and that one goes in.
And that's good ball movement. They reverse the ball to one side of the floor. Michael finds himself all alone with a turnaround jump shot.
87-73 Hawks. Mutombo up high for that screen roll.
And he repositions that. So Smith looks like he wants to go right. Mutombo will come back and get him and let him go left.
Michael brings it up. Comes off the screen from Scottie. He's got Henderson on him now. Luke goes through the lane. MJ for three, short. And Mutombo right there.
Blocked out by all three of their big guys. The ball just fell to the floor the way they diagram it.
Yeah, they're just going to control tempo right now. Unless they have a good run out, they're not going to force anything. They set up in their offense and try to get out of it what they want to.
4 on the shot clock. Knocked away by Harp.
I have a chance to run.
Harp had it knocked away. Puts it off the glass. Nope. Scottie fights for it. Jason Caffey does. Out of bounds. It'll belong to the Bulls.
Now Jason's in there now for his activity. The fact that he can get up and down the floor, and if Phil wants to apply some pressure, Jason's the type of player that can do that. And now you take Steve Smith out of the game, so you have one less offensive weapon. Darren Hancock into Chase Michael.
MJ from the left side makes it a 12-point Atlanta game.
Lenny Wilkens has 4 timeouts plus a 20. So anytime the Bulls get a run going, he's got plenty of timeouts to use in case he wants them.
Hancock, knocked away by Hart. What a ball game. See if the Bulls can take advantage of it now. Left side MJ with Hancock on him. Michael starts to drive, backs it off. Over to Harp, 10 on the shot clock, down low, Jason Cantor. Back to MJ, 4-3, nope. And Mutombo fouled by Luke Longley. Basket by Michael just a minute ago, by the way, put him over 23. He's got 24 points, and that's another donation from your local Chevy Geo dealers to the James Jordan Boys and Girls Club.
Now here's one of the things that Lenny Wilkens now is going to try to do is find some rest for his starters, since he played the majority of them all the way through the third quarter and then partially into the fourth. He's going to find some time to get them some rest, but he has the timeouts to work with also.
Timeout Atlanta, 7:02 left. The Hawks lead it 87-75.
Two luxury car owners discuss the merits of their automobiles.
The Lexus is powerful. I like power. It's also luxurious and reliable. Extremely. It also costs about $20,000 less than your S420. Are you all right?
The LS400, the finest automobile in the world. See your Chicago area Lexus dealer.
What if you could boost the healing power of modern medicine using your mind? Sound impossible? In Health Watch, NBC5's Joan Esposito introduces us to a patient who's using her mind to help treat her ailing heart. Tonight on the NBC5 News at 10, right after ER. Tonight on the NBC5 News at 10.
His controversial commentary sparked arguments and debate across Chicago. Now Jerry Springer has quit. The complete story.
Tonight on the NBC5 News at 10. Committed to Chicago.
You want to share a thought, set up an appointment, find an old friend, or learn a new fact. With Ameritech, you can do it all without a worry, because our reliable local network makes every connection work. And we do it all at the right price, with innovations like call packs. You can talk as long as you want for one low monthly price. At Ameritech, we make the local connection between people work. Stick with what works. Ameritech. Your link to better communication.
One of the keys to beating the Bulls in a 7-game series is believing you can beat them. These Hawks believe that they can beat the Bulls in a 7-game series. Since the playoffs started, each player of the Hawks has had a picture of a championship ring with the Hawks logo and each player's name on it. It hangs in their lockers. There's a caption that also reads on that picture. That caption says, price, commitment. And right now, these Hawks are committed to beating the Bulls. Back to you guys.
Hawks coming, or the Bulls coming close to losing their 3rd game on this floor this year.
Now the Hawks have in their small guard lineup with Blaylock and Rakasner. So we'll look for Michael to go down in the post on the other end.
Bulls need a couple stops, guys.
The last couple, Ron Harper's come up with 2 big defensive plays. And like we said before, this is the time the defense is going to win you this ball game.
Scottie comes over to help. Ty Corbin right side jumper off. And Ron Harper comes in for the rebound.
That's a great time. Ty Corbin has not been a factor offensively, hasn't taken many shots. End of a game, a great time to come off a guy who hasn't really had any looks at the basket.
MJ got fouled, no call, got hit in the arm. He's looking at Steve Javy, and Javy says, I didn't see him.
Michael was to the free throw line the first possession in the first quarter, and that's been it.
Mutombo just comes into your picture now. Corbin. Mutombo wants the ball, and Corbin will try and get it to him.
Scottie sagging off into the post and allow the post pass.
That should be a travel. That should be a travel.
Hart's got his number right now.
Yeah. Shot clock violation. It's Bulls ball.
I mean, this is one of those things in the series that Harp hasn't really had an opportunity to guard Blaylock, and all of a sudden he's finding some success with him. And we see there, we didn't get his feet, but Nolan Fine right on the call. But Harp's really just done stolen it one time from him. That time forces a 24-second shot clock violation.
Scottie wants the post up. Instead, the Bulls with the reverse. Scottie goes down on the floor. Harp around the screen. Back to Rodman. Shot clock at 6 and 5. Dennis had it blocked away by Mutombo. And Blaylock accelerates up the floor. Rakasner baseline jumper is good. That's a big shot,
yes,
you
sir.
bet.
Yes, sir. That's the second basket by Rickasner. He got 7 points off the bench.
Scottie for 3. Nope. And Mutombo right there. Foul on Dennis Rodman. Got him on the arm.
And Mutombo seems to be coming up with every rebound when they need one.
Toni Kukoč will check back in for the Bulls.
Well, the Bulls got it down to, 12, and Dennis goes up for the shot. Mutombo just clears it out of there.
That's what makes Mutombo so good, is he can cover so much ground. You know, we saw that in the Detroit series when he blocked a similar play like that with Grant Hill at a very key time. He just can cover so much ground. He's got the long arms and just the ability to block shots and keep them in play.
Laettner on top, right side for Mookie. Clock at 5. Offensive foul on Laettner.
Well, the Bulls needed a break, and that could be it. 5:08. And you're spotting the other team a 14-point lead, and here's Laettner stepping out and getting the offensive foul.
Sometimes just the fact that you run into a screen hard like Harp did there, and throw your body into it, the official will give the call to the guy who really takes the blow. And that's good defense again by Harp. Now you got Mookie on Michael down low.
Scottie recognizes that. On top they go to Kukoč. Back to Harp, right side Pip, down low Michael. MJ fadeaway jumper. Got it! Counted the foul!
Mookie actually did a pretty good job anticipating where Michael was going to go and had his hand right up on the ball. See Michael wanting it.
Yeah, he knew he was going to fade to the baseline on this play, and he's right there.
And Lenny Wilkins is going to go to his bench and bring Steve Smith in, because he doesn't like that matchup at all.
89-78 now as the Bulls come out with some pressure. Blaylock on the wing. Laettner there high. Scottie helps out. Gets back. Blaylock comes down. Ball deflected. Shot clock at 9 at 8. Rickasner off the screen. Michael right there. Rickasner, tough shot.
Oh, man. You talk about tough. He's made 2 tough shots in a row now.
That one hurt, guys, because the Bulls had a little run going. Pip goes down low for Michael. Double team. Finds Harp on top. Ron Harper for 3. Another $73 goes to charitables from Carex, and now the Bulls fans start to make some noise. Corbin kicks it into the corner. Rickasner with 10 on the clock, 4 minutes left.
Got him scattered a little bit.
Michael on the foul.
Had him scattered a little bit, and he had the ball out of Mookie's hands.
He had Rickasner ducked under. Here comes Harp with that 3. Good pass out of the double team to Ronnie Harper.
Harp wanted the crowd to get a little going, and they did.
Now, this guy has done a good job for him off the bench. He's got 2 long-distance baskets, and now
Luke and Ellis, what's shaking?
Rickasner's a guy that most fans are familiar with when he played with the Houston Rockets during their championship year. Houston wanted to keep him. They couldn't this offseason when they brought in Charles Barkley, who pushed him over the salary cap limit. He came here to Atlanta. He's playing for the league minimum, $247,000. And right now he is showing exactly why Lenny Wilkins brought him in, to hit those 3-point shots off the bench.
Harp just came in and pulled another rebound away. Laettner but had that one in his hands. 91-81. Bulls trying to cut it below double figures. Long 3, Michael. And again, Mutombo right there.
And you got some matchups out there. Scottie had Blaylock on his back that time. You really don't need the 3 right now. You want to throw it inside. Get a nice little thing going if you can.
Could have been nice to get that below double figures right there, but MJ, a guy you count out all the time. Laettner backs his way in against Toni. On top Smith, right side Rickasner. Blocked partially, and shot clock violation.
Well, they took some time off the clock, all right. 24 seconds to be exact. 3:22 to go, but the Bulls still in a big hole here, down 10. Coaching staff of the Hawks all up on their feet.
MJ with Smith on him. Splits it, goes between, missed it, rebound, tapped, and an offensive foul against the Bulls. against Dennis Rodman. He and Toni were right there.
Loose ball foul. Michael on the screen roll does a nice job. He splits it. Throws the ball out in front of him. Gets by Mutombo and gets to the basket. Just not able to finish. And there's Dennis coming over the top. There's Dennis setting the screen. And Steve Smith grabbing hold of Dennis. And then Dennis is followed to the basket. He jumps over the top of Mutombo. And now that puts Atlanta in the penalty, so from here on out, they'll be shooting.
Dennis Rodman fouls out.
2 points, 5 rebounds for Dennis. 1 of 5 from the field.
Michael, nice crossover down the middle, but comes up empty.
Ty Corbin comes back, and Rick Kasner, I think, will check out. He may have got a little tired, too. He played very well, though. Hit some huge shots for them in the baseline.
Yeah, missed the 2 free throws, but he hit 2 big jump shots. Now the Bulls have gone real small. And even with Mutombo in the game, down by 11, makes this 12. You would expect them to try to do some things defensively, some trapping, some double teaming, maybe run and jump at half court. They're going to have to do something and not allow Atlanta to take a lot of time off the clock.
Tip comes off the screen, right side for Harper, gets it back with Mutombo on him. Scottie goes right by, right down with the left hand, puts it in.
And that's not a bad idea by Mutombo. He actually forced Scottie into drive. Didn't want to see him step out there and shoot the 3-point shot. That's a good idea by Pip, too, to attack the basket.
2:45 left. Bulls need a couple stops now as Laettner comes down. On top, Steve Smith for 3. Off. Rebound tapped, loose. Corbin gets it out to Laettner.
Yeah, that's what they want to do. They want to pull it out and use some clock. That's the one thing with the small lineup like the Bulls have in. You've got to go rebound.
Knocked away by Scottie. Bushy comes up with it, gets it ahead to Kukoč. Bulls trying to cut it under double figures. Toni for 3. It's a 7-point Atlanta lead with 2 minutes, 16 seconds left, and the Hawks won a 22nd timeout.
It started with the defense. Down in the post. When Mutombo had the ball, the Bulls able to poke it free and then run down with numbers, and Toni hits another big shot.
We got a timeout on the floor. 2:16 left, and the Bulls are coming back.
When your girlfriend is one of America's most powerful women, it's easy to be overlooked. But Stedman Graham has a lot going for him as well. Tyrone Jones sits down with the next Sports Time. Get in the loop with Stedman Graham on the Sports Channel Report.
Watch out. Once the crave gets you, it's gotcha. White Castle.
Tomorrow on ABC 7 News at 10. Looking to spend a night on the town? Food critic James Ward shows you the best Chicago has to offer. From shoestring budgets to fancy and expensive, we'll show you the best places to chow down downtown. Then...
Are you big, small, or somewhere in between? What happens if you're off the weight charts? Does that mean you're not healthy? Find out the real deal on How Much Should You Weigh? Tomorrow on ABC 7 News at 10.
The Bashers from the Bay are coming to town, but the Southside's dynamic duo hopes to send the A's packing. Coverage begins tomorrow night at 7 on Sports Channel. We know the Sox inside out.
2:16 left, both teams with 2 full timeouts and a couple fouls to give. I think the Bulls actually have 5 team fouls, the Hawks with 3, so the Hawks will have one to give.
Now Atlanta's taking Mutombo out of the game because with the Bulls' small lineup, they bring Henderson in along with Laettner to play that front line. The Bulls are going to come up full court, put some pressure, and you got the crowd back in it.
Recognize the music, Bulls fans. Laettner with it inbounds. The Bulls come over, try and knock it away. Corbin ahead, and Mookie Blaylock saves it. Very frantic Bulls defense there for a second. 2 minutes remain. Laettner backs steps in against Scottie. Pip knocked it away. Kukoč over the double team. Laettner throws up a shot and it went in.
Toni was right there, and he wasn't able to seal him and keep him out of the middle. And the Bulls really did a good job that time, other than that seal and allowing Laettner to step into the lane.
Hawks back up by 9 as Scottie gives it on top. Toni, a long three. Kukoč, nope. Rebound tapped loose. Henderson gets it to Blaylock. Bulls need a big rally now.
Henderson underneath the hoop, but tonight
they're going to use clock here.
Smith got pumped out of bounds by Judd Bushler. Phil Jackson bellows out, no way. So Steve Smith will go to the line now.
What a great performance by these starters. Ty Corbin with only 4 points, but 18 by Laettner, 19 by Mutombo, 21 by Smith. Only 2 now. And Mookie with all those threes.
97-86 with a minute 22 left. Scottie launches a three and hits.
He got Laettner back on his toes, and that's where Scottie shoots that three best, when he can dribble up to the three-point line.
It's another $73 to Charitables from CarX as Harp tries to get it. Mookie comes up with it.
They wanted a double dribble on Laettner back there. He had dribbled once with the ball.
Coming up on a minute left. 97-89. Hawks with the lead. Laettner pumped, and Scottie will get the foul.
Well, they got hollered at the officials for not calling fouls in the Utah game and in this game when Mookie stepped out, but this time Pip commits the foul on Laettner.
Well, Atlanta came out with a game plan tonight to get everybody involved, the guys that they rely on to score. Laettner, we talked about, only had 7 shots in game 1. He's come out, hasn't shot it well from the perimeter, but he's made some shots when he's had to, especially in the lane. He's gotten to the foul line, which he did not do in game 1. And they got Mutombo involved, and he was a factor. And that's what this team needs. If you can eliminate 1 or 2 of their key players from the mix, then you've got a great chance of beating them. Those 2 free throws, those 2 missed free throws really hurt. Bulls still have a chance here. You're only down 8 with 58 seconds to go. You still got a couple timeouts, so you can you got to score here, but you still have a chance to win this basketball game.
Toni with the fake, looks for Michael. MJ, 4-3, in and out, and there have been several of those, and a foul immediately. The Hawks will go back to the line. Atlanta is 18 of 32 from the free throw line. The Bulls are 8 of 11.
Mookie Blaylock with 9 baskets in his game, but 8 of them from the three-point area.
There you see Eastern semifinals, games 3 and 4, Saturday and Sunday. And again, after the game, flip over to Sports Channel. Looks like there might be a game 5 now. That'd be Tuesday night here on Sports Channel. Smith hits the first.
I'm sure Atlanta, they've not shot very well from the free throw line tonight. Just 19 of 33, and they're on the season a 76% free throw shooting team. So I'm sure that they'll look at this and say, you know, if we knocked down our free throws, it would have been an even more convincing win.
This is the highest that they had scored in the playoffs so far.
Steve, long jumper, Scottie for 3. 99-92 now, Hawks with the lead. Blaylock gets it to Laettner. Bulls fans want a foul. Corbin on top for Smith. MJ right there against him. And it looks like the Bulls are going to run some clock. Or allow the clock to be run. Smith, circle.
Dagger.
101-92 now. Scottie gets it back to Kukoč. Toni had it knocked away from Steve Smith. Will lay it in, and that, boys and girls, is going to do it.
Big time game for the backcourt.
Into the corner, Ron Harper for 3. 7 seconds, 6 seconds, 5. The Atlanta Hawks Hawks have come into the United Center and defeated the Chicago Bulls here in Chicago. Our Chicago Bulls Budweiser player of the game, Michael Jordan, 27 points and 16 rebounds. Those numbers not enough as the Hawks waltz into the United Center and take a win from the Chicago Bulls. Again, our final score, Atlanta wins it 103-95. We'll take a break. More coming up on our postgame.
She knew where she was headed, and it wasn't to a bigger office with longer hours, where you phone home good nights to your kids. She has her own business now, and along the way found a broker who kept her focused on where she was going. She gave up the big office and a view, but what she's seeing is her kids growing up. How'd she get there?
More research, insight, understanding. Payne Weber. Invest with more intelligence.
What you gonna do with all the cash you save?
I got Albert a puppy.
You don't need an appointment. Just go to CarX for brakes instead of the dealer and you'll save.
Enough for new waiters.
You'll get quality parts and save big on brakes.
I'm gonna buy silk tie.
He saved $65.
What you gonna do with all the cash you save?
New hats for everybody.
And she saved on her exhaust at CarX.
What you gonna do with all the cash you save? Save a bundle, call the CarX man.
Buttons were invented around 1300 in Europe, and before that they used string. A lot of people don't know that. And I tell my kids, oh yeah, they're just buttons, but they pay for your food, and your clothes, your house, education, everything is from these. And people work here, and they support their kids by appliances, all from buttons. They hold a lot more than clothes together, I like to think.
It's your life's work. Does your bank understand that?
Series now tied at 1 game apiece. The Atlanta Hawks pull a shocker tonight at the United Center in Chicago, taking the Bulls 103-95 as they led again by as many as 16 points. Last time, the Bulls were able to overcome that amount. Not tonight, though, as Atlanta does it with some great balanced performance. Steve Cashel and Norm Van Leer back with you here inside our studios. We've been running around all night. We started at Sport Mart. Now we're back here and got to watch most of the second half. And Norm, kind of a shocker, I think, for the Chicago Bulls fans. You thought this series was going to be easier than the Eastern Conference Finals will be, and hopefully easier than what we saw with Washington in round 1.
Well, nothing's going to be easy this year. I made that very clear at the beginning of the season. I think other teams have improved. I think the matchups was very important. But somewhere along the lines, you need to stop right now and say, give Atlanta credit, because the Bulls could very easily be down 0-2 or whatever you want to put it, how you put the numbers. But a good game by Atlanta, well-coached game by Atlanta. You had the particular people doing what they had to do, Mookie Blaylock leading the way, and you have to give Atlanta credit. Bulls just regroup, hey, go down Atlanta and get back into the home court advantage by getting one of the games down there.
Absolutely. Let's go back to the United Center right now. Hear more from Lou Canellis. Lou?
All right, thank you very much, Steve Cashel. We're standing alongside Steve Smith. You guys believed all along you could beat these Bulls, and sure enough, you did it tonight. What happened?
We do. We believe in ourselves. We absolutely gave one away in the first game, taking nothing away from Chicago. They deserved it because of the way they came out. But we came out last day was going to turn the ball over. Tonight, we got in the same situation again where they started pressure defense. We kept our composure.
At any time, did you feel like it was slipping out of your hands like it did in game 1?
Oh, yeah, we did. But the difference between a day and the other day, we stayed together. We started talking about what we need to do. The pressure's coming, and just get the ball inside and make them work. Either have to come double us or whoever has it down low, just take his man.
You never let Michael and Scottie get off like they did in game 1. What did you guys do defensively against those two?
Well, for us, it's definitely, just try to stay in front of those guys. These are great players. I mean, definitely in a situation guarding Mike is a difficult job, but I just try to stay in front of him, keep a hand up, try to bother the shot.
Would you be disappointed if you did nothing else than sweep this weekend coming up in Atlanta?
We just want to go out and take game by game. I think we definitely, one thing good about us, we got rid of game 1 and put it out of our head, and so let's play game 2. Now we're looking forward to game 3.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Steve Smith, who finished up with 27 tonight. Steve Cashel comes your way after this.
Here we are, sunny Phoenix, all for free.
All we had to do was just tell a little lie.
Now, telling the truth gets you nowhere.
At British Airways, we'll give you a free ticket to anywhere in the USA if you fly our business class to London and can honestly say it's not the best in the air.
What'd you get in it, Don?
Party.
Really? Eagle it. The business class guarantee.
Can't believe we got away with it.
Honestly, you'll love it.
We may surrender our land, but we'll never surrender our pride!
Okay.
Our dignity! Our self-esteem.
It's not doing much for me.
We'll never surrender our Budweiser! We'll finish it before they even get here!
Lots and lots, tons and tons of tennis balls. Some of the things that are on my Discover card statement, I travel quite a bit. Ooh, didn't know that the golf balls around here. Just relax, enjoy nature, and very good. Labidochromis, Caeruleus. They don't want to play with me now because I beat them 90% of the time. I'll take out $100 to buy the bait, gas up the boat.
How many credit cards make a statement like that?
See, what else do I have on
It
this?
pays to Discover. Use it where you see the Nova sign.
Scottie's heading for the playoffs, but first he's making a little detour to Montgomery Ward. Good thinking, Scottie, because right now there's a great deal on a Sharp camcorder. It's just $4.99 with a mail-in rebate. A Sharp 27-inch color TV with stereo sound is only $2.99, and take home a Toshiba Hi-Fi VCR for $1.99. So what'd you get, Scottie? Pip? Huh. Hope he doesn't miss the next playoff game. Hurry into Montgomery Ward for great brands at great prices.
Bulls lose tonight by 8, 103-95. We'll be going inside both the Atlanta Hawks and Chicago Bulls locker rooms, as well as hear from all the key members at the podium. Time now for our Discover card payback, playback, play of the game.
Comes in and rebounds again. He realizes without Toni, he's got to step that up. Scottie. Oh, great play by Pip.
Beautifully done, finding Harp after looking Toni off. The Bulls trail by 1.
And we'll double team that with our Discover card, or I should say our Briggs & Stratton power slam of the game. Watch this one now. Michael Jordan, the alley-oop. Michael finishing with 27 points, 16 rebounds. Not enough tonight as the Bulls fall to 4-1 in the 97 playoffs. Atlanta now 4-3 in the 97 postseason. As Atlanta takes it 103-95, here comes the Sports Channel report.
Tonight on the Sports Channel report, the Bulls were hoping to make their march to Atlanta with a 2-game lead. Norm Van Leer is here, and we're live in both locker rooms. The Bears named a new player personnel boss whose motto might be high energy.
I'm excited about being here. It's like I got a new battery put in me.
You'll meet Stedman Graham, a successful businessman with advice for athletes.
Basketball doesn't even come near the ability to be able to create opportunities for yourself.
And the White Sox opened a series with the A's, all tonight on the Sports Channel report.
He killed it.
Hello and welcome to a Thursday night edition of the Sports Channel Report. I'm Jim Blaney.
And I'm Steve Cashel. We thank you for joining us tonight. Of course, this is Norm Van Leer, the former Chicago Bull. And the Bulls lose tonight, final 103-95 to the Atlanta Hawks. And I want to get to your thoughts on this game, Norm, because we're going to Atlanta now for games 3 and 4 in a back-to-back situation. Atlanta has some momentum, and like you said, right now they could be leading the series 2 games to love.
Well, it could very easily be leading this series, but once again, the Bulls made some adjustments in that first game. Third quarter pace, hot, tough, came out and won. That's the first game. This is not to be true in this particular game here on the second game, even though I thought in return, Atlanta made some key adjustments as they had Mookie Blaylock leading the way in that first part of this game, scoring, doing everything necessary, and I still feel this. No one man can beat the Bulls by way of scoring. I don't care if it's 40, 50, even 60 points. However, the tide changed, and everybody else in that team got involved with that offense. And Lenny Wilkins, I thought, did a masterful job in getting his team prepared and ready to go. He made some key adjustments in that third period, not to let the Bulls run and go, spreading it out, making the Bulls play defense, getting the ball to key personnel. Look, sometimes fouls work in your favor if you're not there and your team hangs tough. Give Mookie Blaylock credit for that, because when Laettner and Mutombo and these guys got involved, and then Smith, or 18 second-half points, got involved, all of a sudden Everyone on the Atlanta team was involved in the offense, and Mookie carried the load the first half to do this, and Atlanta came away with a victory tonight.
Yeah, you mentioned Steve Smith, 18 second-half points. He finishes with a game-high 28, according to my book. Mookie Blaylock, 26. Mutombo had 19. Laettner, 18. For the Bulls, Michael with 27. Pip, 24. Toni Kukoč had 15. Let's take a look at tonight's highlights from the United Center Game 2 of the Bulls and the Atlanta Hawks in this best-of-7. Bulls come in one game up. Mookie Blaylock nails a 3 at 6 first-half trays. Atlanta up by 5 early. Bulls countering with the fast break. Michael finds Toni breaking and feeds it for the transition jam. Bulls at 10 first-half assists. Bulls are up by 1 after 1. But the Hawks stuck with what was working. Christian Laettner finds Mookie Blaylock behind the arc. He drains it. And Billy Corrigan on hand to witness the 3 clinic. Then the Hawks go down low to Dikembe Mutombo. Gets the hook over and overmatched Toni Kukoč. Hawks grab their biggest first-half lead at 8, 46-38. Michael, though, kept the Bulls close. Toni brings it in, finds MJ on the wing. Michael hits the leaner. Chicago within 3 at 51-48, but right before half, Bulls catch a bad break. Ty Corbin drives and is fouled by Toni. Watch Brian Williams buckle. He injured his knee. He would not return. Bulls trailed by 2 at the half. Second half, Bulls go airborne. Michael, great fake on Steve Smith. Throws one down in the alley-oop, courtesy of Scottie Pippen. And Phil said, oh my. But Mookie would not go away. Shot clock winding down. Blaylock launches a long 3 over Steve Kerr, and he hits it. Atlanta up 79-70 early in the 4th. Then it's Smith driving. The dagger in. He hits a 3-ball over Luke. Hawks build their lead to as many as 16 points, 87-71. Time winding down for the Bulls. Steve Smith again hits the jumper. And that was it, 103-95. When you hear Johnny Red Kerr say dagger, it doesn't mean good things for the Chicago Bulls. Lenny Wilkins now meeting the media at the United Center.
We got 8 new people this year, and they're still learning one another. You know, this team has been together for how long, the nucleus? So, you know, we make some mistakes because we get in a hurry. But the thing is, we say, all right, calm down, you know, let's just milk the situation. We're going to be fine. And they are. They do a great job. And I can't say enough about the guy next to me because he's, you know, he's been a delight to work with. He's a competitor. And he doesn't like losing, and I don't like losing, and Mookie doesn't like losing, and Christian doesn't like losing, and Dikembe. And that's a great attitude to have on your team, really, because it gets you back in games.
What's Mookie mean?
I don't know.
So much more than that.
Well, you know, I feel like in this series we're playing our game. You know, I thought early in the first series they got us into a sort of walk-type game. We got out of that in the last game against them, and I feel like we're more, you know, playing our style of ball. Okay. Thank you.
A lot of confidence and a lot of faith that we just believe in ourselves that great things can happen for us.
But you said you have the advantage. What's your advantage? You talked about Scottie and Michael. What do the Hawks have over the Bulls?
Maybe I would say every one of the best defense players in the league.
And playing with as much confidence on the road, now you head home for the next 2 games where home fans will be behind you.
Oh, it's going to be crazy. I can't wait to get home. I know that the fans going to be all over the roof of the Omni on Saturday, but we can't be worrying about the fans. It's a matter about winning right now. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm happy that we won this one, but I got to start focusing in the next game right now.
Dikembe, what was different in the second half of this game than in game 1 in your eyes?
I think the only difference was we felt bad that we lost game 1 and that we was up by 16. And we came out today, we told ourselves that if we get up in the same tempo and the same larger point that we did in the game 1, we cannot let them come back. And then we start screaming at ourselves, to each other over there, and just got to pick up the tempo, and the defense was great. I think a lot of things got to do with our defense. Our defense was really wonderful. Guys switched very well. We helped each other. We didn't let them dominate us in the defense ball. And I think that was the reason why we won this ball game.
Dikembe, here in Chicago, we've seen Michael
out of the game quite as well as you have. Your team, you know, Rodman has been pretty ineffective thus far. Does that surprise you as well as you've been able to do a job on him?
I think as I mentioned earlier on, I'm not trying to play against Dennis Rodman. I'm trying to keep trying to play against the Bulls.
I mean the whole team.
The whole team. So we will do whatever it will take to control him and to don't let him dominate us in the defense end. And that's something we were trying to avoid. That any missed shot, we need to come out with the rebound. And that's something Lenny mentioned that today, that any missed shot, we have to come out with the rebound. And the guy got the message.
Folks, that's Dikembe Mutombo. I see an opening over with Mookie Blaylock, but first of all, we got Steve Smith at the press conference.
Steve, does it appear that the Bulls' age and injuries are catching up with them? Are they a different ball club? Are they not as potent as they were in the regular season when you saw them 4 times?
Well, I think they are. I think we just played well. I think we played pretty good. I think it was a situation where they came out and played real good. Michael had a great game, and Scottie had a great game, and just collectively for us, all of us had a great game, and I think that was the difference.
Any more questions?
Steve, is this one people folks that sometimes a Hawks win, not a Bulls loss? Does that kind of usually happen with the Bulls? People talk about them losing games. Should this one be stamped the Hawks win tonight?
Well, definitely it's a Hawks win for us. I mean, we're happy about it. I mean, if the Bulls lost and people say they just beat themselves, we'll take it. As long as we get the win and we get to go back to Atlanta 1-1.
In the fourth quarter, they're going to try to deflect passes, try to make people trip over themselves, bump you a lot. Because, I mean, that's what you got to do to get yourself back in the game. So, I mean, we just have to be able to weather that, and then we have to expect that, especially if we're up 10 points. I mean, they're going to scratch, claw, and bite their way back, and they did it the other night and pulled the game out, and they tried to do it tonight, but we did a little better job.
I know a lot of people ask about your confidence. You know, is the confidence better now? Has it ever been any different?
No, I think we felt confident the whole time, especially just coming into the series. Even before we started playing any games, we felt like we can play with them. I know me personally, I've been saying it since day one. We're going to be in there. We're going to be in every game with them. Hopefully, we'll be up 10 every game with them. You know, coming down the last 2 minutes. I think we're a very good team. I think if we defend Jordan and Pippen, we're going to be right there every game. I mean, they rely a lot on those guys scoring in the fourth quarter, and they gave it all they can tonight. I mean, Jordan was still making points, and so was Pippen down the stretch. And those are going to be their 2 guys at the end, and we got to shut those guys down at the end.
Christian, it seemed like you were the guy for the Hawks down the stretch. Was that something that was talked about to go down to you?
Well, I didn't score too much down the end, but you know, I was making them double team because they had Pippen on me. And when I dribbled into the lane, they were double teaming me, and we were getting open looks, good shots, and you know, I don't think we made too many of those shots where I was passing out, but it was breaking their defense down and giving us good shots. You just want to get good shots down the stretch. If you get good shots, we're all pro players. We're going to make them.
That's Christian Laettner of the Atlanta Hawks. Now Phil Jackson is ready in the press area. Take it away.
With pretty good energy, but we just couldn't find the key to stopping their screen roll situations tonight.
Bill, you mentioned you hope that this win will get you motivated. Has that been a problem, motivation?
No, not really. I don't think you can claim motivation as a problem in the playoffs. It's just the urgency of playing. The intensity, I think, is sometimes we're coming out there a little tentative, and we're not jumping out to good starts.
Besides Atlanta obviously shooting the ball well, in the second half with Brian Williams out with the injury and with both Rodman and Luke Longley in foul trouble, the whole second half, that seemed to really give their front line the big edge there.
Yeah, they beat us up in the post tonight. They got some good play out of Mutombo and Laettner and Smith actually in the post too. And you know, we didn't find an answer to that, but it's really Blaylock shooting from 3-point that was what kept them motivated and energized the first half and in the ball game.
Much improvement in your offense in the first quarter, and then what happened after that?
Well, you know, it's a matter of you know, getting in sync with all your guys out there. And we missed some easy shots. Brian Williams had some real nice shots in the beginning of the second quarter. We just didn't get things to go in for us down there, and we didn't find the rhythm again that we had in the first quarter. So we didn't have both units functioning well on the floor.
How do you get Rodman back in rhythm? Is it his stomach, or what's the problem?
Well, I don't think Dennis played hard tonight, but and under control. But I thought that you know, the matchup tonight bothered us. The Mutombo and Rodman matchup, and it bothered us a little bit. Cross-matched, late coming back defensively on Laettner with Luke, and obviously we have to make an adjustment in that area.
What things did you try to do to control the screen and roll, and why didn't they eventually play?
Well, you know, eventually went up into more of a denial situation, and you know, got caught a couple times in the screen roll and rotation, which is what we normally stay away from. But you know, really, it's the creativity of Blaylock off the screen roll that's bothering us right now, rather than any specific thing. Is creativity as an individual performer. And, you know, we just probably have not expected him to shoot at this pace, which he's not shot at in the season.
How badly is Williams hurt?
We haven't got a definition on that. It is definitely something could limit him for a week at the minimum right now that we're talking about. So we're going to assess it tomorrow, and the doctors will take some pictures, and we'll have a chance to look at that.
Bill, if Luke hadn't gotten into early foul trouble, would Ryan not have played? Or was he going to play for sure no matter what?
Yeah, Brian was out there playing. You know, I thought that you know, he has a good energy on the floor for us and has provided us some spark in the post, and I thought that he would play tonight.
You got to take one advantage center post play because we really didn't get to the free throw line at all in the fourth. Really not much in the second half.
We didn't get to the foul line really at all. We were in a penalty most of the game, and really didn't get to the. I mean, you know, on your home floor to get outshot by you know, almost 20 free throws, 22 free throws is really, you know, a big discrepancy, particularly when you're a home team. So they obviously forced the action that way, and we created the situation for them.
Obviously, Blaylock's a...
What you have in mind with the five you started in the fourth quarter?
Well, we were trying to buy some time for our starters, just a couple minutes of rest for both Scottie and Michael. I thought they both needed some rest. Toni is, you know, unit out there, the one that you know, is pretty good together. They played together quite a bit, and we thought Randy, with his speed and quickness, had a couple layups and good looks the first half. We could maybe create a situation defensively, but it didn't work out that way for us.
Obviously, Blaylock's a very capable player. He's one of the best point guards in the league. But the one part of his game that's not supposed to be there is consistency from the perimeter. But he shot the ball, like as well as anybody these two games.
Yes.
Is that much of a surprise?
Well, obviously it is, but you know, that's what we have to adjust to. You know, percentages are percentages, but then there are games, and situations have dictated that he's shooting it real well right now.
It's your first home loss in the playoffs in 2 years. Going to Atlanta now for 2 games, how concerned are you actually? You're talking about motivation. Are you concerned going in their building?
Well, they've had a good home record. Yeah, we're alerted, and you know, I think they've got our attention. And we know that we've got to win a game down there to get back our home court advantage, and I think we're perfectly capable of doing that. Thanks.
All right, Phil Jackson meeting the media. Bulls missed 19 threes tonight and only shot 11 free throws. Still to come on tonight's edition of the Sports Channel Report. Norm with his keys to tonight's game. Also going to go back inside the locker rooms, hear from more of the Chicago Bulls and the Atlanta Hawks. You'll meet Stedman Graham, an athlete that made his success off the court. And the White Sox battle the A's at Comiskey Park. Good news tonight on the South Side. Stay with us.
Chicago Bulls postgame coverage is brought to you in part by CarX Muffler and Brake. For exhaust, brakes, and shocks, save a bundle. Call the CarX man.
What you gonna do with all the cash you save?
I got over the puppies.
You don't need an appointment. Just go to CarX for brakes instead of the dealer and you'll save.
Enough of new waiters.
You'll get quality parts and save big on brakes.
I'm gonna buy a silk tie.
He saved $65.
What you gonna do with all the cash you save?
New hats for everybody.
And she saved on her exhaust at CarX.
What you gonna do with all the cash you save? Save a bundle, call the CarX man.
I know you'll be watching the games this weekend on that other station, NBC. I will be too. But right after the game, I'm flipping the Sports Channel, where you got Luke live in the locker room. We got interviews with Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, there's Phil, Ron, everybody, the whole cast and crew will be doing it right there. We're even going into the other locker room, the visitors, in the Omni. And right after the game, hey, don't forget, my keys. These are my keys. We're going to have those right here on Sports Channel, Chicago's championship headquarters.
Just a reminder, next time you need a little help getting airborne, the 50,000 employee owners of United Airlines would be more than happy to help. Come fly our friendly skies.
Plymouth Voyager is a Consumer's Digest Best Buy. So we're celebrating by giving you air conditioning, 7-passenger seating, and a very nice door prize. So for no extra charge, you'll get the 4th door on any Plymouth minivan. That's up to $18.45 in package values and savings. Even with all of that, Plymouth Voyager is still this low price. So hurry in and claim your Plymouth Voyager door prize.
Or as energy-wise,
here's Scottie.
We're not doing the things that made us a great team last season, and we're just not playing hard enough to win.
Scottie, what do you got to do in Atlanta on Saturday to turn this thing around?
We got to step up. Not to, point any fingers at anybody on our ball club, but, guys got to step up and play their roles for us. And that's what's happening to us, We're not doing the things that made us a great team. We got to have Dennis out on the court. We got to have Luke out on the court. Jason got to provide us the energy that we need coming off the bench, as well as Toni. And, those are things that's just going to turn things around for us. It's not that, we can all give Michael the ball and spread out and, expect him to score. There's a very good defensive team. Have a great shot blocking Mutombo inside, and unless we do the things that we've done all season to get 69 wins, and we're not going to pull another win out of this series.
Scottie, did you see this coming?
Yeah, I think we did see it coming. We was hoping that, one game we could probably break out and, turn things around, but it looked even worse today, to tell you the truth.
Do you see offense as a bigger problem than defense?
I think our offense is a bigger problem. I think our defense, it's carried us through the last 4 playoff games, the Bullets series in the last game. Defensively, that's what gave us the wins. But, offensively, we're just not getting it done.
Scottie, Atlanta shot a ton more free throws than you all did tonight. As a matter of fact, you all just shooting in the 3rd quarter. Are you all concerned about the fact that your big people aren't getting much offensive production, particularly drawing fouls on the post?
Yeah, I think that's one concern. That's not all the concerns. Our concern about our big guys is that they're not giving us quality time out on the court. They're not doing the things that's going to make the game easier for us smaller guys. Anytime we have to have Michael come in and get 16 rebounds, that's uncalled for, and then ask him to come down and score 30 or 40 points to pull us out of it. He's not going to have that type of energy, especially having to chase Mookie Blaylock around. We got to have a bigger effort. We got to have a bigger effort from Dennis, from Luke. We got to avoid the technical fouls that Dennis is getting, and he got to play. He just got to play the game and stop looking for the fans to give him the uplift and just play.
Frustration building with Rodman?
It's been building. This is not just this one game. It's at the point now that he needs to play his way out of whatever downswing that he's on right now. We need a lift from him.
You're clearly upset. Did you express your displeasure in the dressing room?
Not vocally to anyone personally. I spoke to the guys. I told them that we got to step it up. We got to come out and play. We can't just be going out. Guys got to get their mind ready for the playoff when we leave shoot-around. It's not about coming to the arena and turning it on.
Scottie, that Dennis is not going to lead you in rebound the rest of the playoffs.
Well, I think there's a lot of other things that Dennis can do on the court. I think that if he's not going to lead us in rebound, then don't lead us in technical fouls, because we don't need those.
Scottie, you think Phil was making a statement to the team because you, Michael, and Phil have been the staples of the franchise over the last few years, and with the lineup he started in the 4th quarter, it seems like he was really putting the onus and the burden on those guys to be productive and try to get something started in the 4th quarter.
Well, Phil is a coach. Phil makes the calls. He felt like that he needed a change out on the court. He put me and Michael on the bench, and it didn't work to our favor. Those things happen. We've seen many times that he put myself and Michael on the bench, and it changed the momentum of the game. But just so happened it didn't work to our favor then. Well, that's obvious. I mean, myself and Michael, we played 44 minutes. You know, he's going to have to arrest us, but I don't think that 1 point cost us the game. You know, this was built up 2 weeks ago.
How do you feel physically?
I feel fine physically. You know, I'm not hurting in any way. I'm going out and, you know, giving the best effort that I can and, you know, trying to help us to get over the hump. But, you know, I can't say that for everyone on the team.
Scottie, knowing this team as well as you do, how do you think you're going to respond to these next 2 games this weekend?
We're going to come out and play, you know, or we're going to have a short vacation.
Scottie, did you feel like you needed a rest at the start of the 4th quarter?
That's not my call. That's Phil's call. You know, he's the guy that dictates, you know, who's in the game and who's out. You know, could I have stood a rest? Yes. Could I have played? Yes. I mean, but I'm not the coach. And, you know, when he makes the call, then, you know, I respond.
Scottie, do you think the third quarter that you guys had the other night scored 38 would be the thing that's kind of out of what you guys have developed?
No, it just wasn't there, you know. 7 minutes to go, we was down 15 points. You know, they're too good of a defensive team to say that we're going to hold them and be able to score 15 points. It's just totally impossible.
Dikembe Mutombo is really not the best offensive force in the league, but I noticed the Bulls defense really doing a lot of collapsing and double teaming and therefore freeing Blaylock up on the perimeter. Is there a concern that the center's not playing Dikembe straight up and having the double team all the time?
Well, I think our major concern is that, you know, we have to figure out some way of stopping Blaylock from getting so many 3 points attempt. And tonight, he was able to make them. Last game, he didn't make them. He took 15 and didn't shoot a great percentage. But tonight, you know, 8 out of 9 or 7 out of 8 or whatever he shot, I mean, that hurts us. So, you know, obviously, they made some adjustments. You know, he's still looking for that shot, and he shot it well tonight. All right, guys.
All right, Scottie Pippen. Scottie had a good game with 24 points, 9 assists, 4 rebounds. He hit 4 threes, but he brought up some good points. I think Chicago Bulls fans and the Bulls players themselves are waiting for a big breakout game. They thought it was going to happen in Game 1 or Game 2. Lucky to win Game 1. Everyone said, well, all right. That was a game where the Bulls got lucky, but tonight they're going to win by 15. And it's not happening. It's the playoffs, but still there's something missing with this team.
Well, Steve, first of all, you can't sit around and say, I'm going to get lucky or we're waiting to break out. You got to make things happen. You have to go out and play defense and get down. Now, you got to funnel all that energy into focusing, playing basketball, getting the job done. But at the same time, and just listening to that interview, the press and everyone asking the questions seem like the Bulls are invincible, like they can't be beat. The playoffs are not over. Yes, they got beat. They split. The Bulls have done this before. I think the last year's record of 72 wins and breezing through the playoffs has spoiled this town upside down. The playoffs are not over. Bulls will be back. They're world champions. They know how to respond. They have to make adjustments. Now, Scottie made out some great points. Some people have to step up, and not just stepping on anyone's toes about what you have to do and trying to make some type of civil war within the team out of this. It's just that certain people have to step up and play their game. Like, for instance, tonight, Luke Longley saddled with foul trouble. Last game, he didn't have foul trouble. He physically pushed Mutombo out of his game. But this game, it wasn't to be. So therefore, you get around, and I still say another thing that's haunted the Bulls, and maybe it's hurt them this particular game, and so far in this series with a good defensive team such as Atlanta, is the fact that you have 2 guys potentially doing all the scoring. That is, from a defensive point of view, a lot easier to defend this team when it comes down to those particulars. And Atlanta has a lot of material, a lot of people to go at the Bulls, especially with a big guy in the middle and the type of defense. Now, I thought the Atlanta's defense tonight was their offense, making the Bulls work, especially the second half after Mookie Blaylock got off to a fantastic start. You had 4 other people in scoring. And, Steve, I pointed out this. Look at the shot distribution with the Atlanta Hawks. And you talking about team moving the ball and just getting one-on-one situations, because they did only had 13 assists as the Bulls 27. But when you got 16, 11, 19, 13 shots among your starters, that's awfully good team basketball, my friend. So, hey, don't panic. Just watch and let the Bulls adjust for the next game.
And Atlanta shot 52% for the game. The Bulls just 41 shot. Although the Bulls took 92 shots for the game. Atlanta took just 71, but Atlanta did attempt 23 more free throws. That's a number that just jumps out, especially against the home team.
Well, Steve, once again, who's the aggressive play here? That is the key right here. Anytime you can come home and do that against the Bulls at home, then you're playing some basketball.
Yes, you are. Let's go inside the Bulls locker room right now. A few moments ago, Lou Canellis caught up with Judd Buechler.
I thought we got some momentum going for us, and they just came out and played a great fourth quarter. I think the start of the fourth quarter, they really built up some momentum. I don't know how we shot when we first came out the start of the fourth quarter, but they came out tonight very determined and really proved a point that they're going to be tough to beat. And I think it was a good eye-opener for all of us because we haven't been playing very good basketball, and hopefully this will be a little slap in the face and wake us up a little bit, and we can get our focus back and get back on track.
Is that the only positive that you're trying to take out of it, is that it's a slap in the face?
Well, no. I mean, I'm sure the coach is going to look at the film and, you know, see what we can do differently. But I think that, you know, we've played 5 games so far. The playoffs, 4 of them have been unbelievably tight. Could have gone either way. You know, Michael and Scottie have saved us down the stretch of most of those games. So I think it's time that the rest of us start pulling our weight a little bit. And I think that's what we need to do, and I think that's one of the reasons we lost the game tonight.
Judd, speaking of down the stretch, your club seemed a little impatient offensively. When Atlanta struggled, you come up and a lot of threes got jacked up early in the clock.
Sure. I think there was a sense of we were a little desperate at that point. I think we were trying to find someone with a hot hand, you know, and obviously it's been Michael and Sky down the stretch. Those guys were trying to get into their rhythm a little bit. I mean, we were down 15, 16 points with, you know, not very much time left, so we needed to get some threes up. I don't know if we were that impatient, but, you know, we need to find a hot hand, and, you know, those 2 guys are our main guys.
Not much taking the ball to the hole to score with the clock stopped.
No, well, you know, you have the big guy in there, Mutombo, obviously, who's done a great job blocking shots in there, and we just haven't shot the ball very well this series so far, and I think it's going to be good for us to go on the road, maybe get away from United Center for a while, get our focus back on the road where it's just the team, and I'm sure we'll shoot better on the road.
Anyone other than looking in the
Here's
mirror.
Michael back in the media area.
Accept the blame for a poor performance. It's been building up over the last, 4 playoff games where we more or less just squeaked out wins, or one of either myself had to more or less do extra work. But I mean, we have not played the type of basketball we're capable of playing, you know, and you know, we all are blamed in some respects. You know, I'm not going to point to the front court or to certain people. I mean, that's when division becomes amongst teams, when you start pointing to other people than ourselves, not just one or 2 particular people. You know, I missed a lot of layups tonight, you know, a lot of tip-ins and a lot of shots, and other players have missed shots. So, I mean, you know, it was a poor outing from the Chicago Bulls as a whole, not front court or back court, no matter what way you want to look at it.
Michael, but in at least tonight's case, the first quarter you guys shot 50% from the floor. It looked like you had the intensity out there, and then the last 3 quarters things seem to break down offensively. Was it a case of just missing shots or their defense?
You can give it any kind of explanation you want to give it. You know, we had opportunities to score as well as we had opportunities to stop them defensively. I mean, we did not particularly play the screen and roll well tonight at all, you know, which was a big important factor for them, you know, and offensively, you know, we missed a lot of easy shots, as I've said. I mean, and that really could put added pressure on you trying to execute offensively, or you feel individually you can carry that load or that weight or make up for that missed layup here or there, and you know, and next thing you know, it piles on, you know, and you just don't have a great game.
What types of things, excuse me, did you do to try to contain the screens and rolls, and why didn't they work tonight?
Well, I think it was a lot of confusion in terms of our tactics of guarding the screen and roll. A lot of times we try to force a baseline with a lot of help. Other times we force over the top and, you know, push and stick a hand out and you know, make sure that he has some type of distortion before he takes the shot in rhythm. So I think a lot of that was confusion. We didn't really know how to play it once they began to hurt us with that particular play. And I think that's something that we have to go back to the drawing board and try to find a way that we can maintain consistency without going through a certain confusion, which makes it even more difficult.
Michael, the common theme the past few weeks here has been your level of play not being up to standard. What is it going to take to get back to that championship level?
Maybe this. I don't know. I think it's a realization that we have to understand that to do something twice is that much more difficult. And we got a lot of players who have never really experienced that. And now we're experiencing it, some of the difficulties of trying to repeat as champions. Scottie, myself, Phil, Dennis, some of the other guys who have been successful, Robert, have experienced that. And a lot of young players haven't. So I think as a team we have to educate them, but yet we have to involve them in what we have to do as a team to be better as a team.
Just a couple of moments ago, Scottie was more outspoken than ever in his criticism of Dennis Rodman, saying if he's going to behave like that, he's got to perform. If he's not performing, he shouldn't be out there acting like that. Do you agree with him, and how do you feel about Dennis?
Dennis hasn't really given us the effort that he's given us throughout the course of the season. I think that's obvious. When I'm doing all the rebounding, he's not. That's just pretty obvious. And, we don't know exactly what Dennis is doing in terms of going out and playing. He may be hurt, he may not be. But if he is hurt, then he's hurting the team more so than helping the team just by pushing himself. But he certainly have not been the Dennis Rodman of what we have expected to be in terms of energy level. He brings so much energy to the game, and he's not doing that at this particular time. And it's not really something that we've been able to compensate for. And if he's not going to be able to do that, then certainly he's hurting the team.
Have you or will you express your feelings directly to Dennis?
Sure. Yeah, I think that's myself. I think Scottie expressing himself, a few minutes ago about what Dennis is doing, and I'm pretty sure Phil is going to express himself even more so. But it's not just Dennis either. I think we all have to look in the mirror and say, what can we do to get ourselves back into a playing rhythm? For myself, to Scottie, to other players on the bench, or to other players on the floor. This is a team effort. This is not a one individual, two individual situation here. This is a 12-man squad that goes out and find ways to win together, and with a fluidity that it makes us that much better of a basketball team than most teams. And Dennis is an integral part to it, yes. So is Luke, so is Toni, so is Randy Brown, so is other players on this team. And somehow we got to find that output from everybody, cohesiveness, to make us a better basketball team.
How much did your rebounding effort take away from your offense, especially late in the game?
Well, my offense was more or less just to try to see what we were operating with today. I'm pretty sure that it's been many games where I've come out and aggressively been offensive focus. Tonight I didn't really look as that. I wanted to see if Toni could get in a good rhythm, other players could get in a good rhythm, and I can take up the rebounding slack, help Dennis out on the boards, and play good defense on Mookie. Yes, I was tired in the second half, because I was really trying to contribute on the defensive effort and on the rebounding. Offensively, I was missing easy tip-ins, easy layups, which have made things a lot easier, if I would have made some of those shots. So, was I tired? I'm pretty sure I was, but I felt good to be out there to contribute in some form or fashion. If it's a rebounder, then great. If it's defense, great. Offensively, it wasn't there for me tonight.
Throughout your career, you lost either games 1 or 2 before in past playoff series. How do you approach now games 3 and 4? What goes through your mind? What's this process like?
I approach it that we're going to win them. I don't approach them any other way. A lot of you guys have predicted us to win in 5. We're still on target.
Michael, with the quick turnaround for 3 and 4 Saturday and Sunday, do you prefer that, or would you like more time there?
It's a good challenge for us. I think they have to recuperate just as much as we have to, and I don't mind playing back-to-back games on the road. Get us in the city, do our job, and get out of the city. So that can work in our favor, hopefully, if we play the type of basketball we want to play.
Michael, everybody's been talking about the Bulls waiting for that breakthrough game or about to make a breakthrough game in these playoffs. Are you beginning to get concerned that it might not come due to injuries or whatever with Rodman and who knows?
Well, we may not play the perfect game up to 15 wins. But if we get 15 wins, I don't think anyone's going to remember that. I think we're just trying to find ways to win. And we want to do it in a great fashion where we all play cohesive basketball. But that doesn't always have to be the case. We can go out and scrounge around and find ways to win. It may be ugly, but it's a win. So I think what the public and what the media is expecting, what they're seeing in the past, is us blowing out teams and us dominating teams. It's not happening right now because we're not playing with the rhythm that we've always played with. We've endured a lot of injuries, a lot of different problems all season long, which has distorted our rhythm to some degree and our continuity. And we're battling, trying to find that rhythm again. And sometimes when you do that, you never find it. But yet, hopefully we can maintain success in doing so.
Late in future games, should we expect you to be shooting from long range late in the game or slashing to the basket late in the game?
I think you should sit back and watch just like most people. I think the game's going to dictate itself. For me to sit here and predetermine what's going to happen next week, no one knows. If we can sit here and say we're going to be champions in June, I think we can walk a straight line and go through the motions, but no one knows. So I think, the defense is going to dictate what we do, perimeter-wise. I think we like to establish an inside game, but if the inside game is not there, you have to see what we're providing ourselves with. If that means a jump shot, three, or whatever, slashing. Our object is to win in any form or fashion. I don't know what everyone's expectation is in terms of how we do that, but all we're trying to do is get the 15 wins before anybody else do in this league. And right now, still possible.
You don't want to make predictions, but we've seen you a couple times saying when we win the title. After this game, do you still feel like you're talking about a team where you can say when we win a title?
Because I lose one game, I lose focus in terms of what my objectives are. I don't think that's what a competitor is all about. I'm not going to sit up here and say, well, I don't think we're going to win a championship. That's a negative way of looking at things. We lost one game. So what? I still think we can win or live up to most of you guys' predictions of Bulls in 5.
Mark, you came to town, was lately in town happy with the way things went in the first game. Are you guys leaving town really feeling fortunate that you got out of here with this time?
No, I think we're feeling that we know we can play better basketball. Now we have to go on the road and do so. Which is a good situation for us in some ways. Maybe we can get on the road and find ourselves. A lot of times when you play at home, you got a lot of different distractions where you can't really focus. You got to worry about family tickets, worry about getting down, fighting the traffic. As you saw, everybody was pretty much late today. On the road, you have a little bit more tightness as a unit, and maybe you can find your rhythm there. I haven't lost confidence about this team at all. No matter what Scottie's expressed in terms of his opinions and his frustration about where we're playing right now. There may be some truth to that, yes, but I haven't lost faith in what this team is capable of doing and what our ultimate goal is in terms of winning the championship. You just got to go out there and do it on the basketball court instead of saying it.
Michael, that said, have you seen things over the course of the last several weeks that concerned you about the overall mental preparation of some of the other guys, the practices, the whole caboodle?
Well, I think, the way we practice has been, more or less seen in the way we play. And I think that will wake us up, and in some sense, I would hope that we go back to the drawing board and more or less sharpen our tools in practices so that when a game comes, our tools are sharpened. If you play, BS in practice, then you're going to play BS in games, and that's been very evident. We've been living on the edge for the last 4 games, I guess, the last 4 or 5 games. This time we got stung. But that doesn't say we can't turn this thing around, and get back into a sharpness.
Mike, Toni was much more active in the first half, and in the second half he kind of faded. How important is he the rest of these playoffs?
He's important. Yeah, but we got to realize Toni missed a big portion of the season with a big injury, you know, to his foot, and his rhythm is distorted to some degree. He gave us a great half. Now let's extend that to a full game, you know, and give him support to help him do that. I'm not ready to push the panic button yet. I advise you guys not to do that either. You know, we lost one game, yes. You know, in all the years that we won championship games, we didn't go undefeated. I want you guys to go back and look at the records. We were 15-2 last year. And we lost, you know, some games in the past, but somehow we got to 15 games. I'm not here to panic.
Michael, was there any point between the Bullet series and this one in practice, knowing what you know about this team in practice, and you thought the rhythm's back, here we go, we're ready, or was it never?
We haven't gotten to that yet. I can't say that we have had a practice where our rhythm seemed to be where it was last year. And you know what, to some degree, it's a natural tendency to have a letdown, you know, because you're trying to duplicate something that you accomplished last year for the first time, winning 70 games and then win a championship for a lot of young players on our team. To do that again, you're going to have, you know, some letdown, and I think we've experienced that. And you know, right now, you know, hopefully we can end that whole focus about a letdown.
Michael, you guys had 19 points off the break in the first half, only 8 in the second half. Was that because you had to help smash down low and it took you out of that running game?
Well, I think a lot has to do with their rebounding, or our rebounding, you know, or creating steals or creating turnovers. I mean, that's one thing about fast breaks. You get the rebound, you start the break. You get a steal, you start the break. Turnover, you get to start the break. Evidently, we didn't have as many turnovers in the second half as we had in the first, or rebounding in some respects, or they had more offensive rebounds in the second half. I haven't looked at the stat sheet, but I'm pretty sure something to that nature happened in the second half.
Michael, how do you get the front line to be more productive than it has been tonight? You only got 11 free throws for the whole game. I'm sure that's not by design.
A loss is never by design, you know, and it's never by design that our front line only gives us 11 free throws, or, you know, I'm pretty sure maybe 12 or 15 rebounds. You know, we have to find ways to instrument those guys into our offense and into our focus, team concept. And you know, hopefully it won't last more than one game. This is one game. This is not a series, and I think we have to consciously think about that. We have to make adjustments from this game to the next game. Sure, we played terrible tonight. You know, we had terrible output from a lot of people, you know, including myself in certain situations. But I don't think it's, you know, we should bury ourselves and say that, you know, the series is over. You know, they split here, they go back home. They still got to defend their home court. They deal with the problems we've been dealing with, getting tickets for all their home people, and you know, maybe we can go into a hotel and bond together and go out and play better than what they play.
You don't like to lose any game in a playoff series, but the way you've all played the last week, wouldn't you say that this loss has been somewhat expected?
Sure.
The way you lost tonight?
Yeah, we've been living on the edge, yes. It's somewhat expected. You never want to lose, but I think this is a loss that sends you home. Not to the clubs, sends you home, look in the mirror and say, what could I have done better today to change the outcome of the game? If you don't go home and do that, then certainly you're hurting a basketball team, and your focus is not in the same frame of mind where it should be. And I'm pretty sure you're going to have 12 to maybe 14 players going home tonight if they're not going to dinner, and look in the mirror and say, what could I have done better to change the outcome of the game? I know I will. You know, it's not a pretty sight, and certainly it took a lot of energy for me to come up here and listen to some of you guys' dumb questions. But you know, for the most part, I had to do it. That's my responsibility, and you know, I play bad, and I have to answer to the piper.
How much of an impact did chasing Blaylock the last 2 games have on your offense in the fourth quarter tonight?
You know what? I don't want to blame it on Blaylock. I mean, it's a lot of rebounding I had to do in the last couple games. I mean, it's a lot of other things could contribute to that. And sure, you know, I have to do my job on the defensive end to control Blaylock, and he's going to, you know, perform or, you know, make sure that I pay attention to him. But physically, you know, I was a little tired tonight, and I anticipate getting some rest tomorrow and being ready to do my job in the third or fourth quarter, whatever it takes.
At this point, who do you think is best suited to defend him through the balance of the series? Do you want that assignment, or?
Sure. I'd be a fool to pass it to someone else after one loss. You know, I think it's a team effort no matter how you look at it, but individually and as a competitor, I wouldn't pass this buck to nobody.
Michael, it's almost amazing that you guys have been so good over the last few years, and it's like people almost want you to apologize for a loss. I mean, it's getting a little wacky, isn't it?
Well, I apologize if that's to say, but you know, we didn't play particularly well, and you know, when things like that happen with a team that's won 150 games over the last 2 years, 140 games, it causes some alarm, you know. And here I am, I'm answering to the alarm and just saying, hey, we lost a game. We had poor outings the last 4 out of 5 games. We won 4 out of the 5 games, and you know, it's not at a point where you should push the panic button and say that, hey, the Chicago Bulls will not win the championship. I believe we win the championship. It just may take more games than what people anticipate.
Michael, were you surprised?
No, I'm not surprised. You know, I'm disappointed because I know the expectations. I know the toughness of doing something back to back. And I think from the coaching staff, they've tried to educate us about the potholes that's in the road. And like most young people who've never really experienced things like this, we tend to ignore them and say we'll do it our way until something like this happens. And then, you know, hopefully it puts us back on the right road to where we play the type of basketball we're capable of. I hope that's the case. You know, I'm not guaranteeing that's the case, but, you know, I think, you know, we want to get back to in winning ways. We have not let losing stick with us too often. You know, I don't think in the last couple of years we have lost too many games back to back. So I think that's characteristics that we have to really look at and understand, and you guys have to really look at and make your evaluations.
Are you more disappointed that the loss came here at home more than anything else?
I'm just more disappointed that we played terribly, and I'm more disappointed that I contributed to the terrible play, you know. But, you know, those things like that, you know, Mother said that these days would happen. It happened, you know, even to me, no matter what you guys may think of me. You know, I'm capable of missing layups, because I missed probably about 4 or 5. I promise I won't miss the next ones. Thanks.
All right. This from a guy who scored 27 points and still was able to go out and grab 16 rebounds. But over the past 2 games in this Atlanta series, we have seen him struggle, especially in the 4th quarter. He had just 1 free throw in game 1 in that final period, and tonight was just 3 of 10 from the floor in the 4th quarter. 0 threes for the entire game for Michael Jordan. When guys, as we go back to you at our studios, what I thought he said best was, hey, this isn't time to press the panic button. Yesterday after practice, Phil Jackson said, folks, this is the semifinals of the playoffs, and the teams that are in each conference battling to move on to the finals are good teams. We saw Houston lose at home last night. Miami lost at home. So what happened tonight is going to happen. They lost a game in the New York series in the Eastern Conference semifinals a year ago, so let's not panic yet. Bulls are on their way to Atlanta for a pair of games over the weekend, and don't be surprised if they grab both of them. Back to you guys in the Sports Channel Report.
All right, Lou, thanks a lot. And Michael's numbers for the first 2 games, 61 points, 27 rebounds, 12 assists. By the way, Dennis Rodman in 2 games, just 12 rebounds. Remember, Michael, 27 rebounds. Before tonight, the Bulls won 13 playoff games in a row at home. Tonight, they lose a postseason game for the first time since May 12th, 1995, when Orlando beat the Bulls. And the Bulls now 120-97 overall in the playoffs. Mookie Blaylock had the big game tonight, 26 points, 9 assists, 7 rebounds for Mookie Blaylock. Nearly led his team in rebounds for the 2nd game in a row. And after the game, we caught up with Mookie Blaylock and asked him if it looked as easy, or was it as easy as it looked tonight for his team?
No, it wasn't. It was hard. That's a team that plays defense and plays it well. It just didn't handle the pick and roll as well, and I got a few open looks.
Can you talk about the pick and roll? You guys seem to be running it almost to perfection out there.
Well, they're really not handling it well. They
not even helping at all and leaving me open and giving me wide open looks. And if they do help, Christian got the roll. So I think, you know, we working that pick and roll well.
Were you surprised how many open looks that you did seem to keep getting all night?
No, I wasn't, because, you know, your man get picked, he can't get over the pick, and the big guy's not helping, so, you know, I'm getting wide open looks, and, you know,
I'm sorry. What was the key for you guys tonight as opposed to Tuesday night when you came so very close to beating them here?
Well, we stayed aggressive. You know, we never dropped our head. We was always going to the basket, and another night we got timid and stopped looking at the basket, and tonight we never did.
Is this almost like Buster Douglas beating Mike Tyson, or is it easier than that?
No, it was just a good win for us, and you know, it's just one game for us, and you know, we got more ball games, so you know, we ain't jumping around for this win. It's just a good win for us.
You didn't go to the free throw line any. I guess you really didn't need to drive to the iron that much because of the looks around the rings.
Well, you know, you get a wide open shot, you know, you take it, and you know, I never felt that I had to get to the basket because you know, it was giving me wide open shots, and you know, that's just part of my game I really worked on.
Behind you, there's a piece of artwork on your locker, and it says "Price Commitment" as your name on a championship ring. It's a little inspiration from Lenny Wilkins.
From Pete Babcock. He's showing us that, you know, if we go out and do what we're capable of doing, we can go out and win some ball games and win a championship. And you know, that's just a great motivation thing there.
The Bulls normally have had a lot of problems with dervish, small, accomplished guards like you. Do you sense that there's anybody on the Bulls who can really stop you?
Well, I'm not Michael Jordan or whatever. I'm just out there to try to get wins, and you know, my shots are falling for me, and I'm getting a wide open look. So I'm not out there to be a guy that need to be stopped. I'm out there to try to get wins.
Where did you think you found your shot, Mookie?
Oh, I've been having. I think the first series I was doing a lot of rushing and trying to get a shot off because, you know, it was doing a lot of face guarding and trying to get the ball out of my hand. And, you know, you get that. You tend to rush a shot and try to get a shot off. And right now I'm just taking my time and I got a rhythm.
How significant do you see this split, and what do you foresee it leading to when you go back home?
Well, you know, we got to stay aggressive for one thing. You know, this team can come in your gym and beat you. So, you know, we feel we got to stay aggressive, and you know, this was a great win for us going back home, and we got 2 at home, and you know, we got a lot of confidence at home, but you know, we feel that we have to go out and play the way we played here.
Mookie, we've seen Michael Jordan have so many wonderful fourth quarter comebacks here in Chicago. It just didn't happen today. Was it something you guys did?
I think we was a little tired. You know, you can't play 48 minutes without getting tired. So you know, he got a little tired, and once they took him out, we made a little run, and you know, it was hard for them to come back. I think we just stayed aggressive, and especially on offense, and that was a big key for us.
The tandem of you and Steve Smith, how do you rank that backcourt? Is it underrated? Is it at least one of the best in the circuit?
Well, me and Smith are having fun. You know, we don't go out and be all mad because we underrated here or they not talking about us there. You know, we out having fun, and that's the most important thing. Once you get off into all that other stuff, your game drops and everything else goes. So, you know, we out there to have fun and play the game of basketball.
Mookie, what do you expect at home? I know a lot of times at the Omni, when the Bulls come to town, you see some Bulls jerseys. Do you expect any of that when you go back home?
Well, of course. You know, that's Michael. Everybody loved that guy, you know. My son's got his jersey. So, you know, that's just, you know, it happens all the time. And, you know, we just got to be focused and stay focused and go and do what we have to do on the floor.
When I came in...
He's been the MVP of the series thus far. 8 of 9 3-point shooting today for Mookie Blaylock. Atlanta now 4-3 in the 1997 NBA playoffs. Bulls 4-1. Still 11 wins away from the NBA title, and I know I didn't get you a chance for you to react, but as Michael said, don't panic yet. I know there's a big cloud over the city of Chicago right now, but Norm, it's not over, is it? Tell me it's not.
No, it's not over, but you know, it's a normal reaction to a group of people or a city that's been spoiled by the Bulls just walking and lancing and running through the playoffs, especially from last year, the record-breaking pace of 72 wins. And I'm repeating myself on that you expected so much from this team to just do the same thing this year, and it's not going to happen. Other teams have gotten better, and somewhere I learned growing up when you play sports, the first thing you need to do is to respect the opponent. Somewhere along the line, respect Atlanta for coming here, being prepared, and playing good basketball, and that's just the way you have to look at that. Now, Bulls are world champions. They will go down to Atlanta and have to do something about this split decision they've had at home with the 1-on-1 and at least come away with one victory over in Atlanta to get this back to the home court advantage. But all I can say is that they're the world champions. They will respond. You know that some people have to step up, Steve, and get a better game going for themselves and get this team going. It's a team game. You can't rely on one and two individuals every night and carry the load as that goes. Some other people have to step up if the Bulls are going to maintain the championship and regroup and get going right there. Names, who knows? You got to do it collectively as a team.
Yeah, one guy got to bring up, though, Steve Kerr. Why has he been very ineffective so far in the playoffs? Why do two teams cover him so closely in postseason play, and yet he shoots threes all regular season?
This is why I've been saying this since I've been on here for 6, 7 years. Playoffs are different. You take every team's strong points when you get out to do your scouting report and break down and checklist and everything. The first thing they do, Steve entered the game, shut him off. Do not allow him to score any points. Now, I will say this in reverse. I feel the Chicago Bulls, as long as you got a Steve Kerr in your lineup, on your roster when he gets in the game, you've got to run plays for him. I feel Steve has to have more shots than what he's getting. He's got to be involved in the offense. That's what Steve Kerr is all about. And why put him in there if you're not? I won't rely and do not and will not rely on Steve to play defense. That's his job to do that. But his strong point is offense. Get him some shots. Get him involved in the offense. And if you shut that down, I don't see the sense of even putting him in there for that reason. But, hey, once again, you got to step up and have that instant offense. But this team, for the last couple of years, they rely on two people to score. And I think that has come back to hurt them against a good, strong offensive team, especially at this time in their careers. Tony comes in, and I still say this, and I've been saying it for a long time. It is remarkable that the Bulls have won as many games as they have with just two guys in the starting lineup having double figures, and the third person being Toni Kukoč coming off the bench. They have done it with defense, but right now defense is hurting a little bit with Rodman hurt, and maybe Luke Longley, honestly, tonight in foul trouble not to put his presence like he did the last game. So I thought that was a key for the Bulls in losing this game. Hey, it's just a game. You got another one coming up. They'll be ready.
Yeah, and Steve Kerr, both 1 out of 3 shooting, both in Game 1 and Game 2. All 6 of those shots so far in the 2 games are all three-pointers. He hit 1 in each game, 3 points in each game. Right now, we're going to go back inside the Atlanta Hawks locker room, here from the kid who played at DePaul University for Ray Meyer. Here's Tyrone Corbin.
After yesterday's practice, you guys said, hey, you know, we're not that upset. We can beat this team. A lot of people here in Chicago didn't really believe you. You guys obviously did.
Well, that's the thing that we've always stuck to our guns as a group, and we believe there's 12 guys and the coaching staff here believe that we can compete with anybody, and we want to go out and make team beat us, not just go out and lay down for anybody. They're going to have to beat us in order to get us out of here.
You didn't have as big of an offensive game as you did in Game 1, but other guys picked it up. Christian Laettner had a bigger game. Was that something that was stressed?
Well, really, it's key for all of our guys to get off, to get a lot of minutes out there on the floor. Fortunate enough, when a guy like myself don't have a good game tonight, somebody else pick it up. Mookie did a great job in the first half of carrying this offensively for a while. Then Dikembe came on, Steve came on, and Christian had a great game. So, and the bench came in and did a great job for us. So we have a group here that really want to compete and like each other and respect what everybody brings to the game.
All right, Tyrone. Now maybe you can give us perspective here. Mookie Blaylock is not supposed to be this unbelievable three-point shooter. The guy's known as a defensive stopper. He can't put the ball in the hole, but he's just shooting the lights out.
Well, he's maybe not known in Chicago as being, not in Chicago as being a great three-point shooter, but he's been doing it all year for us. He likes the shot. He's very capable of making a shot, and at some points when he's hit like that, we like to go to him.
Now, I know you guys normally are such a strong team in the Omni, but what are your thoughts about the Bulls coming into town? Is there any chance that, we may see some Jordan jerseys and some Pippen paraphernalia?
Well, I mean, everywhere they go, I'm sure you'll see something in anybody's arena. Hopefully our fans come out and root for us in the playoffs now that we're on our home court. But if not, then we're going to have to continue to play. They've done a good job all year supporting us, and hopefully that'll continue.
All right, you're heading home tonight. You guys taking the charter back home tonight. What's your bed going to feel like when you finally get in there?
Well, once we get down, we just enjoy the victory tonight. But, our work is not done. We got 3 more games to win in order to finish the series. We got 5 more chances to stop them from getting 3 before we do. So it's going to be a tough series, and we want to focus in on what we need to do in order to advance in the playoffs.
All right. Do you still consider yourself a Chicagoan? I know you're from South Carolina, but you spent some time here at DePaul. You a Chicagoan?
It's all part of me. It's all part of me. I enjoyed it. This is where I really got the belief that I could play NBA basketball, and I enjoyed my 4 years at DePaul, and I really love the people here.
You can tell he's from Chicago. All right, guys. Let's send it back to the studio. Norm Cash, take it away.
All right, Eric, thanks a lot. Again, the Bulls lose tonight, final 103-95, and still much more to come on this Bulls post-game edition of the Sports Channel Report. Up next, Norm, back with his keys to tonight's